Hello and welcome to News Morning here on New Day on TV3. My name is Beatrice Edu. Coming up in the next few minutes. Parliament passes legal education reform bill, abolishing Ghana School of Law entrance exam and decentralizing professional legal training for aspiring lawyers. Also on the program, founder of Pan-African Heritage World Museum, Kojo Yanka, says debt cancellation should be part of reparations after UN General Assembly passed resolution on transatlantic slave trade. All these stories and more, and let's start from Parliament because the House has passed the Legal Education Reform Bill, paving the way for major changes in how lawyers are trained in Ghana. Now, the new law seeks to decentralize professional legal education by abolishing the entrance examination for admission into the Ghana School of Law.
For years, the entrance exam has been a major hurdle for law graduates seeking to pursue professional legal training with limited space at the Ghana School of Law, restricting access to the legal profession. With the passage of the bill, that system is set to change. Under the new Legal Education Act, accredited faculties of law across the country will now be allowed to provide law practice training, previously the sole preserve of the Ghana School of Law.
There are many institutions. Every district assembly should have a lawyer. Every ministry should have a lawyer. You see, because there are many issues about procurement at the district level that you need legal advice in terms of how to go about it. So to say that there are too many lawyers, I've never been part of that. We really don't have the lawyers. A ratio of 6,900 to one lawyer is woefully inadequate. People study law to do legislation, and so you find them here doing legislation. People study law to do corporate practice. People study law to do many other things. And so the fact that those in courtroom practice are not enough does not make it, I mean, any excuse.
This training will become a mandatory requirement for LLB graduates before they can sit for a newly introduced National Bar examination. The reforms are expected to expand access to legal education, reduce congestion, and create a more inclusive pathway for qualifying as a lawyer.
Those institutions, I mean, if you take University of Ghana, who already run faculties, I mean, they have the capacity. The existing Makola is still there. It's still part of the institutions that will be training the professionals. So those institutions are already there. Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology has run this program for some time. GIMPA has done that, and then the rest of that. So there is this institution that already even have the capacity. All we need to do is just let them match up to the additional requirements that the law envisages. And so once they get that, and that's why we are saying that the existing institutions that already have the capacity should be able to absorb the backlog of LLB students who are in the system. And then as the years go by and we produce more, they will be able to absorb all of that.
The National Bar examination will now serve as a final qualifying assessment for all prospective lawyers, regardless of where they receive their professional training. Supporters of the bill argue that the reforms will modernize Ghana's legal education system and align it with international best practices. Evelyn Tingma, TV3 News, Parliament House.
Now, speakers at the Media General National Dialogue are calling for stronger support for indigenous businesses to ensure Ghanaians play a leading role in the country's economy. Participants say that achieving this will require deliberate policy action, including improved access to finance and a more supportive environment for private sector growth. They also stressed that local businesses must enhance efficiency and competitiveness to better position themselves against foreign firms.
Ghana has recorded some improvements in key macroeconomic indicators in recent times, but concerns remain that a significant share of the economy is still not owned or controlled by Ghanaians.
Name any single company today that was a champion 15 years ago, private sector. I don't. And we must move up the value chain. Cocoa, we must move up to process more. Gold, we must start refining. And you see, when I hear there's a refinery, and I hear the refinery comes in from another foreign investor, I say, how much is the amount of money required to set up a refinery? The value is here, but we don't seem to deal with it. And we go always cap in hand begging.
Access to affordable financing remains a major challenge for many businesses. Industry players are calling on governments to support large-scale investments to ensure that more value is retained within the country.
What they could do is put a basic investment in, of course, which won't come to much, and fall on government to provide the needed capital to match the foreign partner or even exceed the foreign partner's investment. In other words, if it's a 60-40, the Ghanaian would own 60% and the foreigner 40%, but he may have only 10% investment. So that government comes up with the 50% to support the Ghanaian investor. And that 50% should be venture capital.
Meanwhile, leading industry players, including Star Oil, say Ghanaian businesses must prioritize operational efficiency and leverage technology to remain competitive.
If you had a foreign player trying to disrupt our industry, you can be very rest assured that there's a player like Star Oil that would make it almost impossible, because we built capacity enough to be so competitive that a foreign player can just not disrupt our model. Be operationally efficient, use technology to run your supply chain in such a way that no Chinese company, no European company can come in and disrupt the market because you are weak.
The dialogue brought together economists, business leaders, and policy experts to propose practical ways of strengthening local ownership of the economy. The event forms part of this year's Ghana Month programming and was held under the theme Owning the Ghanaian Economy, Mobilizing Ghanaian Capital for Growth.
Now, President John Mahama says Lincoln University remains deeply respected and valued despite the controversy over the institution's decision to withdraw an honorary doctorate that was to be awarded to him. Now, speaking during an engagement with the Ghanaian community in Philadelphia, President Mahama said that the ties between Ghana and Lincoln University, referencing its role in shaping Ghana's first president, Kwame Nkrumah, remain strong.
University invited us. And I want to say that there's a historic link between Ghana and Pennsylvania. There's a historic link between Ghana and Lincoln University. Whatever disagreements have come up, for me, Lincoln University holds a special place in my heart. Because those are hallowed grounds for Ghana. It is part of our history. We cannot divorce Lincoln University from the history of Ghana. That is where our first president, Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, was nurtured with his intellectual capacity and his Pan-Africanist spirit. And it was from there he took that spark and led the liberation struggle, not only in Ghana, but across the African continent. And so the grounds of Lincoln are hallowed grounds for Ghanaians, and will continue to hold that institution in high esteem.
Meanwhile, the president has also rejected claims that the recent security recruitment processes were influenced by favoritism, stating that efforts were made to ensure fairness through digital systems.
The intent behind it is in good faith, because there have been a lot of complaints that people get recruited on the basis of who they know. And so this was an attempt to use digitalization to be able to sort through the first wave of the applications. And so when you go online and you apply and you you fill all the fields with your qualification and everything, the computer doesn't know who you are. And so once you apply, the computer has the algorithms that says that this is what we're looking for. And so age and other dimensions are all fed in. And so you can be disqualified on age because you must put your Ghana card number, and your Ghana card has your age. And so if you're above the age they're looking for, it disqualifies you. If you didn't meet certain criteria, it disqualifies you. So the intent was actually in good faith, but the response was overwhelming. 280,000 young people applied. And the problem was that they were looking for only 5,000. And unfortunately, everybody who applied paid a certain amount of money, above 200 cedis. And so young students who have finished school looking for a job, they have to go and borrow 200 cedis or take it from their parents to pay to get a chance to be recruited, and a computer just says disqualified. Meanwhile, his 200 cedis is gone. And so we held an emergency meeting, and we decided that we should expand the recruitment. And so instead of the 5,000, we would take 10,000 a year for 4 years, and so 40,000. And what we said is all those who applied, you don't need to reapply. We're going to use the same database to employ, from that database so that you don't have to pay again to go online.
Founder of the Pan-African Heritage World Museum, Kojo Yankah, says recognition, reparations and debt cancellation are necessary to rebuild African nations' strength and identity. Kojo Yankah describes the slave trade as a monumental injustice, leaving millions of Africans displaced, divided and stripped of heritage. Now, this is coming after the United Nations General Assembly on Wednesday voted officially to recognize the transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime against humanity.
Your beloved country is free forever.
Historians estimate that more than 12 million Africans were enslaved during the transatlantic slave trade. Ghana alone saw over 1.6 million people torn from their communities and shipped away. Founder of the Pan-African Heritage World Museum, Kojo Yankah, describes the slave trade as the greatest racial injustice in history, blaming colonization for dividing Africans and eroding their identity.
1844, European countries meet in Berlin and then put the map of Africa on the table and divide us like pizza or something, and then share Africa. We Africans ourselves have been totally divided by that act of the Berlin Conference. We have not even considered how terrible colonialism was.
International relations expert Dr. Nana Yao Miracle insists that apologies and compensation must follow.
If you look at what the resolution is really about, compensation of monetary value that will come to Africa or that will come to the descendants of the slaves, for me, should not be on the table right now. There must be some acceptance of a crime that was committed as a heinous crime, as the grave. It's very, very important because you see, we don't want a repetition of that in future. So we want a commitment, a political commitment that it was a grievous crime against humanity. 2, then there must be some apology from the powers so be that were involved in it.
Kojo Yankah argues that debt cancellation should be part of reparations, giving African nations a chance to rebuild.
We are asking, therefore, that it should be possible for them to, all the loans that they've given us, you rape the country and then you say you are giving you money to build it back. We are saying, listen, some of these loans should be forgiven. Artifacts, bring them back. We don't need to apologize for them. We take inspiration from the fact that we'll use this opportunity to tell our own story, educate ourselves very well, it's important. 2, we need to heal. Seriously.
Meanwhile, the African Union welcomed the UN adoption, calling it a historic step towards truth, justice, and healing. Beatrice Soa, TV3 News, Accra.
And that's all for News Morning here on New Day on TV3. My name is Beatrice Edu. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. Do continue with us on New Day.
Life can be giving it to you with like that. everything around you will be affected big time.
Yeah, but your French, it's the accent that I like. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You want to tell them what we are doing today on the show in French?
Qu'est-ce que tu fais en fait par rapport le big issue?
You're asking
what?
issue.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's great. So on big issue, two main issues. We'll have a conversation about the legal reform bill. It's a very significant bill that has been passed by Parliament this week. The way we train lawyers in this country is going to change significantly. I mean, we will tell you the state of affairs now and the changes that the new bill has introduced. And we'll ask the key question on whether this is the solution to the challenge that we've all observed over the subsequent years, the past years, I must say. Is this a solution to the challenge that we've all had? The current system, you have to do at least 5 or 6 years to be done with legal education if all things are held constant and you become a lawyer here in Ghana. But now it's going to be cut down to 3 years for the degree program, then 1 more year for the law training program. Then afterwards, you take a national bar exams. And so we'll walk you through how the structure and everything will look at just to understand it. Thankfully, we have a number of lawyers who will be joining us on the show to enable them share their perspectives. And the usual Friday team would also be on board as well. Then if time permits, we'll delve into issues relative to the minority. They are alleging some state capture plot involving relatives of the president. We'll tell you a bit more about that later on.
Yeah, but you know, last night I was monitoring conversations on social media with some senior lawyers on the decision to, you know, scrap the school, the law school, and somebody said that we are going to have a lot of half-baked lawyers in our court. And one senior lawyer, I think it was H. Kwesi Pepe, who said, "Don't worry, we have them there already." Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. But again, I mean, you're talking about access to legal education, but hopefully this access doesn't lead to proliferation of, you know, like somebody said last night, half-baked lawyers. We are still able to keep the quality, which I think is one of the reasons they were guarding this so strongly, to prevent everybody from going in. But the argument about also ensuring that it is fair for everybody to have the opportunity at it is also a great one. Looking forward also to that conversation regarding the petition Ashrash on what the president is doing. I think it has to do with he using the brothers' jet, right?
Yes, and the diamond mines as well.
Yeah,
taking over the mines that was previously being handled by. It's actually being handled by Goldfields. They are packing out because the lease has ended and it's not been extended, and so that's where that leaves us with. But I mean, I don't know. I think the legal reform conversation will be very interesting for someone who went through the current system that we have.
Can I ask you what you think about it? You think they've not been fair to you? They allowed you to go through and they are...
No, well, I liked what I went through.
Okay.
It's very tough, it's very difficult and everything. I think my only fear is I think it's a radical change. It's a radical change.
And it's sudden.
Yes, and so that's the only thing that gives me a bit of anxiety, and especially whether it's taking off this year. If it is, then it will definitely mean that between now and September, the AG's office will be very, very busy. In fact, the president needs to sign it quickly for it to become law. Then the various structures have to be set up. Schools have to be aligned, review their programs, a whole lot of things. I think and even the intervening period, because currently there are students who are doing the 4-year degree program. There are some who are doing the postgraduate 3-year degree program. All of that, they said after 1 year, that those universities will have to apply for accreditation to now do a 3-year degree program. So all of that is a bit of a challenge here and there. But I like the idea that it will be accessible now, but I still think it's a significant radical change. And that's what gives me a bit of anxiety. But hopefully, those who are managing it know exactly what they are doing and will bring out the best eventually.
So what will happen to the structure at Makola?
The structure, from what I've seen on the bill, 2 things. One will be to be a remedial school for those who fail the national bar examination. So there'll be a national bar examination. If you fail it and you want to do a remedial to prepare for it, you go to Makola. It will also exist for the post-call as well. The post-call are those who have been called to the bar in jurisdictions that have an analogous legal system like that of Ghana. So, for instance, you are called to the bar in the United Kingdom because it's also the common law tradition. You can come over to Ghana and do the post-call at the Ghana School of Law and get called to the bar. So that is what the current structure will be for the Makola that virtually almost every lawyer, in fact, every lawyer in Ghana actually
has gone through that.
You can't become a lawyer without going through Makola. Yes, so that's what it will be for him.
Yeah, but of course, beyond the big issue as well, we'll bring you sport, and we expect the sports team to bring us updates. I'm looking forward to the squad that will be going into details of that, the squad going into tonight's game with Austria. And we have that exclusive conversation as well with Prince Kofi Amoabeng, the founder of UT Bank, with Alfred Okanse. We're bringing you that in the latter part of the program. So it's a full-packed programming for you. And this morning, Black Stars, right?
Absolutely. What we are going to do is that you have the chance to call into the show. First, talk to us about your prediction. Just straightforward. Just tell us. Randa, good morning to Randa. You say you expect Black Stars to win by 3-0. You are fair.
Is that not too much?
I mean, that's what she's predicting.
Okay,
you're allowed. So you call into the This Morning segment and come up with your prediction on what you expect the scoreline to be. And secondly, maybe tell us which player you're looking out for. I've said it already. I'm looking out for Antoine Semenyo.
Yes.
Antoine Semenyo.
Yes.
The guy got me on hold. Like I can't miss any Man City game because of him. He's an amazing player, and we are all looking forward to him being on show this morning. My prediction for Ghana in friendly games, I will do the prediction when I see the squad, but I just hope that Coach Otto...
You do prediction when you
I see the squad, yeah. Because when you see it, you know...
the squad?
Yes,
okay.
yeah. I mean, when you see it, you know whether the coach is taking the game serious or not. Sometimes you see it and you coming to do Matra Makwe on there. It's such a serious game.
Let's try and see it.
Yeah, but hopefully, if we feel our strong team, I think we should be able to pick up maybe a 2-1 win or something.
Yeah, that would not be bad. I think I'll go with that, yes. I said today I'm prepared today I'm on a good path with the Black Stars, so I'll not say any other thing that will be contrary to that. But anyway, as is all I say, why did your producer Shadrach stop the song while you were in your dancing mood? Let the music flow, DJ. Yeah, I think you'll be hearing that along the way, yes. But yes, you're welcome to the This Morning conversation. But before we activate the phone lines, though, let me remind you that we are cashing out. Today is Friday. How much are we giving? 10,000, right? So we'll be giving 1,000 Ghana cedis to each person, as in 10 people who would want to play and get at least 1,000 Ghana cedis. But yes, this is just, they will say preliminary, right? Prelims, because Easter, we have something really special for you. So today, we're just playing it cool. 1,000 Ghana cedis, and in exactly a week's time, we'll be doing something big. You want to look forward to it. But today, we're giving 10,000 Ghana cedis to 10 of you. So you keep playing, you dial star 439 hash, and you follow the prompt. You pick your favorite platform, which is right here, number 2, TV3. The more you play, the higher your chance of winning at least 1,000 Ghana cedis. Who doesn't want extra money for the weekend, right?
It's Friday. I mean, it's Friday. It's Friday. So it's opportunity to get some good money. So, I mean, as Beatrice said, just dial star 439 hash and participate. And like Rolando always says, it's a probability game. So the more you participate...
40 times.
40 times.
Yes.
I think you should do 50.
50. Okay.
Do 50.
That's not bad.
And then next week you do 100 times.
Because next week is a special one.
They pick it at random.
Yeah.
So if your number is in a lot of the time, it's likely that
you're just saying it's like Roland will say it.
I mean, it's numbers. I mean, Papa Ru, shout out to Papa Ru.
Yes.
Papa Ru.
Yeah.
And so participate in it, and you can also call into the This Morning segment as we started. Someone, a good friend of mine, very good friend of mine, sent a message. Susan Akbene. She's saying that you asked me small question in French, and I'm fumbling.
Akbena, don't do that to play.
Can you imagine? The French, un peu.
Un peu.
Je parle français un peu.
Un peu. C'est pas mal, eh? Au moins tu essaies. All right, welcome to This Morning segment.
To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. Come on!
And you're still here on your day on TV3. Welcome to the This Morning segment. This morning, we did say that Ghana Black Stars will be playing Austria at 5 p.m. today. Of course, pre-match commentary will be here live on TV3 from 4 p.m. But what are your predictions, and how would you expect the team to play during tonight's game? Call in and share your thoughts with us. The numbers are displayed on your screen. Hopefully, we get some good scores. Yes, this is a friendly match, but we're able to score. So call in, share your expectations with us, and perhaps your anticipation of the squad that will be selected for the game tonight. This one and another one with Germany, you said?
Yes, that will be a very big game. I think we are trying to get ready for the match. Hopefully, the team shows that they are in good spirits, and it's very important. It's not just about it being a friendly game, that the team generates some excitement and followership from the people of Ghana to be assured that they can expect some good performance. The lines are already ringing. We have a caller.
Yes, we do. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning to you, sir. Please tell us your name, where you're calling us from.
Good morning, Sister B.
Would you kindly speak up a bit? Good morning.
Yes, I'm calling from Kusao, Boko.
You're calling from where?
Kusao, Boko.
Okay, in Boko. Okay. Please tell us your name and your own prediction ahead of the Black Stars game tonight.
I'm Awumbila John.
Yes, sir. Hello?
Yes, hello.
Please go ahead.
Yes,
sir, I think you have your television set on. Would you kindly turn down the volume on your TV set?
I would prefer that this our new team should be able to convince Ghanaians that we can perform better in this game by the squad that we are going to use. We should the management should stop looking at what you call it money and look for those who can execute the work for it. So and I pray that with this presence they can correct themselves to do it well instead of going back to do that error that we did before. And I would like to use this opportunity to say good morning to Overlord of Kusao and Kusal. Duglandiola. When I'm not good for nothing, I'm Musa. When I check out Bob Diggin Laffy, I won't take no work. May God bless people.
Thank you. Thank you so much. John calling from Kusao in Boko in the Upper East region. Thank you very much for calling in and sharing your thoughts with us. But really, his word is to management.
Yes.
Yes, who they select for tonight's game. So we are able to shine.
Absolutely, it's very necessary. We have another caller on the line. Good morning. Your name and where you are calling from?
Good morning. I'm calling from Ghana.
Okay. What are your expectations tonight?
Shout out to my MP, the local Ahmed. And I want to greet all my friends and relatives. I pray Black Star will score 2 million for today's tournament. And again, I want to talk about the presidential, the jet that President will choose for his brother. In fact, I'll go in for a car from maybe a friend. Let me fuel, and then I'll go for my thing. I didn't pay anything. It's about fuel. Even if President was to use the Ghanaians' own jet, would have buy what? Fuel before it. So I don't see anything wrong about it. So please, my colleague MPP should stop hypocrisy. It is not just like Ananado renting jet for about some $1 billion. We all know, and we're here. So I pray that they should come back. But it's not any, there's no more than that. It's to counter them or counter them whatever they need to. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for calling us. Interesting thoughts there. Let's hear from the coach of the Black Stars, Otto Addo, a former player himself. He played for Ghana in the 2006 World Cup. Those of you who don't know, those times he used to have some hairstyle be like that. I don't know what the ladies, the cornrow. That's what it says. He used to have cornrow with his bow legs and stuff. He was a powerful midfielder for the team, but he's
I'd
leading
love
the
to
team.
see the picture of him at that time.
Oh, I'll show you a picture of him at that time. He's been speaking ahead of this international friendly match. Let's listen to what he had to say.
I think in now modern days football, to be honest, everyone can beat everyone. I'm very, very sure. And I think we saw it at the last World Cup that there's no team to be underrated. And surely Germany is a high profile, but to be honest, I'm not thinking about Germany now. So for us, it's the full focus on Austria. We want to win every match we play. This is for sure. And now the full focus is on Austria. We saw what they do. We analyzed them well, and I'm very, very hopeful that the players will do it at the end. It's about them, and the focus on Austria. We know what to do. We now have to execute, and like I said, it will be an intense game, and this is what we're looking up to. And after the match, we will think about Germany.
That's Black Stars head coach Otto Addo there.
But what happened to the cornrow? From cornrow to bald?
It's called age. It's called age.
Okay.
And aging. It happens. Let's take a listen to another man who has also been with the team for so long. He's actually the captain of the Black Stars, Jordan Pierre Ayew, our Black Stars captain. Listen to what he had to say.
Of things, because we want to play for our country, we want to do well for our country, so every game is important. Even though we know these two games are really important, but even previously the other games were important as well, but just that sometimes it is what it is, you know. Coming to these two games, listen, tomorrow is going to be a tough game, Monday will be a tough game, so we'll do our best. I think we are preparing really well, you know, tactically, technically, physically, we're really look good. So let's see what happens tomorrow. I don't want to talk too much because obviously we've had a couple of days of training and what I've seen is positive. So we're ready for tomorrow, and we'll see if we can get a positive result, because we want to get a positive result, and after Monday will take care of itself.
That's Black Stars captain Jordan Ayew speaking there. We have some callers on the line. Beatrice.
I love how they are all just being very careful. Let's call and then I actually will tell our story. But yes, we do have Abubakar on the line. Good morning to you, Abubakar. Thank you so much for joining us. Please tell us where you're calling us from, your own predictions for tonight's game. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, Abubakar, good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Beatrice.
Yes, I hope you're well. Please tell us where you're calling us from.
Okay, I'm doing great. I'm calling from Kuchida in the Upper East region.
Yes, sir. What are your predictions for tonight?
Tonight, I'm predicting that Ghana will score 3-0.
3-0, okay.
Yes. And I would also like to use this opportunity to greet my people in my own dialect.
Okay.
Okay, great. So,
all right.
Mepunyada BPA ma kana chairman ke punyada lebedini group ma kaning kusiga lebedini kilke pisa gilli kunta apa iti yada ma gilli wanege. So I'm done greeting my people in Madale, and I want to find out from you whether you have ever heard of this language before.
Of what?
The language I've just spoken.
Yes, which language is that, sir?
Yeah, this is different language from the Upper East. I call them the silent majority in the Upper East region.
Okay. It's a beautiful language. Thank you very much.
Yes. And I would like to also extend my due greeting to some past people in our area in terms of Peter Tatil, the late Peter Tatil, and then Madam Hawa Yakubu too as well. and a few others who have passed away, and they are all disabled in the Upper East region.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you too.
From the Upper
Thank
East.
you too.
Thank you for calling in from the Upper East region. We do have another caller on the line. Good morning to you. Please tell us your
Hello,
name.
good morning, Beatrice.
Good morning, sir.
Beatrice, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you, sir?
Akabele.
Yes, sir.
That must be Alhaji.
Akabele, 10 or 10.
Iyejuba.
Oh, yeah, Juba.
Iyejuba.
Kyo banya yuega.
Oh,
Fio.
Banya yuega.
Fio.
On fio. Okay. Beatrice, did you also understand the Ga language?
It's Fio as well. Mr. Soa is teaching us.
Let me send my greeting to you people. Kukiti, my friend Roland, Nasheko, and entire team, and my municipal chief is Hussein Alassane Bagaman, and chairman for So Ampo, and Shamima Musa and Bahala Jalasa, and Dr. Abukar Wumbi, and chairman for So Ampo. And Honorable Ladi Ayamba, MP for Pusiga, send my greeting to her. Today, do you know what will happen?
Today?
The match will be 3-1.
3-1. Okay. Against Austria.
Yeah,
okay.
Against Austria.
Okay.
It will be 3-1 against Ghana Black Star. Ghana Black Star will win. So, but this is a tough match. We shouldn't look it up like friendly match. We can win them 3-0. That will not happen. So, unless we do serious and win it. So, right. Let's pray for the Ghana Black Star. This is start of the World Cup. You know, this season, unless we win the World Cup, bring it to this country, Ghana will be a first country to take the World Cup into the country. Excellency John Dramani Mahama government. So may God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation progress and strong. Ajiada Mama Listi is a Black Star fan. You do know that? So send my blessing to her. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Stu. Thank you very much, and may God bless you as well. We do have another caller on the line. Good morning to you, Moses. Thank you for calling us. Please tell us where you're calling us from.
Okay. Good morning, Beatrice, and thank you for the opportunity.
Good morning.
This morning, first of all, I want to say a very good morning to the Minister for Transport, Honorable Joseph Bukari Nimpe, and then a special good morning to the Deputy Minister for Works and Housing, Honorable Gisela Tete Aguti. That said, I want to deviate a bit from your topic and then concentrate about the development in Nkwanta South. You know, recently, Nkwanta South has been marred with a lot of conflict since 2023. Till now, Nkwanta South has no peace. And so I am an indigenous of Nkwanta South. I come from a place called Power. It's a small community. And so I want to call on the youth of Nkwanta South, you know, that each and every one of us should speak to our chiefs, elders, opinion leaders, regardless of our tribe, for them to embrace forgiveness other than retaliation, because what we see is that the retaliation will never give anybody justice he or she needed. And so knowing that I come from Power, I recall schooling in Power, I schooled in Keri, I schooled in Nkwanta LHSA. And those days you could ride bicycle from Nkwanta through to Power without any problem. Today, in between Power and Keri, there's a curfew that starts from 2 p.m. So imagine what parents and people go through there. Very soon, BEC is approaching. Students are at home. WASI will be approaching soon, and students are at home. 2025, students struggled to write WASI. Workers were running away from Nkwanta South because there was no peace. So I am calling on each and every one young person from Nkwanta South to embrace peace rather than the retaliation, because it will help us. We need peace for our growth, and we need peace for the development of Nkwanta South. I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you as well. Very important there, the need for the youth in Nkwanta to embrace peace. So there's development. And a number of you have sent us your messages. And, okay, so we'll read that. But we have our first female caller in a while, Rejoice. Oh. Good morning to you, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us. Please tell us where you're calling us from.
This is Rejoice from Birmingham. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. Doing very well. How are you yourself, ma'am?
Great. So, my call line, these are my people. So, I'm expecting 2-1. In fact, you should do it for me. Senyo is my man. So, he should do it for me.
So, that makes the three of us.
Yes. And I wish Kudus a CD because in fact he has to be well before this cup. Of course, Charlie can't go without Kudus. But Semenyo is there to make sure everything goes well.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rejoice. Yes.
You enjoy your day.
Thank you. Thank you. Is it your first time calling us though?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I remember the name very well. She calls once a while.
Yes.
When she feels like calling and talking to us, she call. You should be calling often. You should be calling often. You see, I remembered your name. She forgot to. Me, I remember.
Rejoice calling us from Birmingham. Thank you very much. She's predicting what? 2-0. Yes, and expecting Kudus to be well soon so he can join us, and also Semenyo as well. We do have Philip on the line. Good morning, Philip.
Yeah, good morning, Beatrice and
I complain.
I'm very grateful to call you guys this morning. With this friendly match we have, Ghana versus Austria, it's a good game, but Ghana, our players, see, Kudus is not in the list. I wish Kudus was in the list, but he's not in the list due to injury. And our best performance could be a draw, a goalless draw, or 1-1 draw. That's why I see it. That could be our best performance. But what I want us to talk about is the financial constraint or financial the budget of the Black Stars. And we are here. We are mentioning millions of dollars. The funds that the fundraising they did some few days ago, we had over $10 million. $10 million is a lot of money. It's good. But me, my community, we need water. We don't have water. My community, we don't have water. As I'm talking to you now, I have to carry a bucket of water and go a bucket to go to a stream to go and fetch to come and bath.
Please tell us where you're calling us from again. Which community are you?
Now, we have a lot of typhoid fever in my community in Panda. Typhoid fever. Typhoid, because we don't have water. We need water. We need the basic needs. Water. We need basic needs. Food. We are hungry. We need water. We need education. We need classroom blocks. Okay, you've raised $10 million for funding aside the government subsidy or government money to add to them. These millions of dollars, we need water. One ball will cost about $1,000. One borehole will cost us about $1,000. We need water. $10 million. Divide $10 million by $1,000. It's about. It's about 10,000 boreholes. We need boreholes. We need water to drink water. We need water.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So what I'm trying to say,
Philip.
Everything, like all of what I'm trying to say is, the budget is
Philip
good.
calling from
We are having a friendly match, but we need basic needs. We need basic needs.
So, Philip, please don't go off the line. We're going to take your contact so that we can get some more information regarding the challenges in your community, particularly the water, as you keep stressing. So please do stay on the line with us.
We have another caller. Julius from Accra is calling us. Good morning, Julius. Where exactly are you calling from? And what are your predictions ahead of this game?
How are you doing?
Hello?
Yeah, I can read.
Yes, go ahead.
Good morning. How are you all doing?
We are very well.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, I would just like to throw in a word of caution. I mean, regarding our preparation towards the World Cup. You know, we have already qualified, whether we like it or not. We shouldn't go in there to impress anybody. And trust me, most of these guys, especially those of us who follow the European League, most of these guys, whether we like it or not, have knocks. So I think they should rather preserve their limbs. Just go in there, study the terrain, familiarize themselves with the European game, because they're going to meet European teams like England and so on. I mean, just tactical. They shouldn't go in and play all out and then get exhausted during the Real Mundial. So that is just a word of caution. We know what they can do on a very good day. We know what Ghana Black Stars can do. This is not the time to impress anybody. They should just be technical and just preserve themselves and get ready for the main games. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling. I think I agree with a part that has to do, maybe I'll extend it a little bit, about ensuring that we don't suffer any injuries in this particular game. It's very important. I mean, we are virtually going into April next week. I mean, June is just around the corner.
Yeah.
If you pick up a serious injury, it's not likely you're going to be part of the team.
Yeah.
Especially our key players. I think. And just almost someone nice, but they should be
because
careful.
I mean the main focus is the World Cup, right?
Cup,
so we should be able to. I agree with that as well. Well, a number of you sending us your messages. Aziz Dollar from Wa says Ghana 2 goals and Jordan will score the first goal. Thank you very much, Aziz Dollar. Mr. Simon Yen as well from Wa says good morning, Beatrice and Akablay. I'm not a football fan. However, out of patriotism, I want to see Ghana beat Austria by 3-1. Beatrice, those people insisting on President using Ghana's presidential flying coffin don't value the life of the president. Greetings to Roland, Cookie and Nashoko, and they've just heard you as a read. Thank you very much, Mr. Simon Yen from Wa. Kwame na CDT Ahafo Atrensia says, good morning, Beatrice. Tonight, Ghana Black Stars will come out with flying colors against Austria. Happy Ghana Mums to Honorable Collins Dauda, MP and Oba Yao Asantua, Honorable Charity Gardner Hafo, Regional Minister. Also, there's a message from Prince Henry Koforidia. Says, good morning, Queen B. I see the Black Stars winning against Austria, and I see them doing well at the World Cup. God bless our homeland, Ghana. This one from Chachichi Kata Jr., Wa West, says, good morning, Beatrice, Edu, and your colleague, Akable. Good luck, Black Stars. I'm confident our boys will dominate and score big. To TV3, please, no drawing this time. We want a live match broadcast. Greetings to my boss, Honorable Peter Lanchini Tobo, MP for Wa West. Perhaps I can read this one from Fakakiwa. Says, my regards to Alhaji Al-Hassan, the Lion, and wife Shamima Muslim. This is a plus to the NDC government for the fulfillment of its manifesto for the passage of legal education bill to abolish Ghana School of Law monopoly and decentralized professional legal education.
Interesting. We have another caller joining us, Yakubu, not Yakubu Manage, Yakubu Manage. Yakubu, good morning. Thank you. Where are you calling us from? Hello, Yakubu.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, where are you calling us from?
My name is Yakubu from Tamale.
Yes, Yakubu.
My greetings to the entire staff of TV3.
Thank you. I receive your greetings.
Especially, hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Especially Madam Beatrice and my boss. Hello?
We are listening to you. Go ahead.
I thank God today for getting your number, your line, because I've been trying all since long. I'm not getting you, but today I thank God for getting your line.
You have it. You have nice. It now. Save it and call every day. What do you want to talk about this morning?
I'm a new caller.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you so much. But I'm not sure I got his name though. Yakubu, yes.
Yakubu yes. From Tamale.
Yes, Yakubu, go ahead.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, Yakubu.
Yakubu, if you're listening to yourself.
Black Stars will make us proud.
Yes. You believe the Black Stars will make us proud?
So I'm expecting Black Stars to win by 1 goal to nil.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Alhaji is so excited, and we're excited to have him as well.
Yakubu manage. Have you seen that video? I'll show you that video.
Yes, show me that video.
Yakubu manage video.
Yes.
It's a very interesting sound on TikTok, social media these days.
Yeah.
We have another caller.
Yakubu joins us on the line. Good morning. Actually, Abdul. Abdul, good morning to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Please tell us where you're calling us from and what you have to say about the Black Stars game tonight.
Yeah, my name is Abdul Manan, calling from Wa.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah, let me say good morning to you and then Akable and all the entire team.
Good morning.
You guys are doing a fantastic job for Mother Ghana. And
thank you.
To proceed, let me use these few minutes to extend my greeting to some few people. My MP, Honorable Mohammed Adam Sokaro, the Deputy Minister for Information and then Ejidi Tamaklo, the MPA CEO, and then Honorable Lawyer Abu Juan. He's from Wa East and he's doing a fantastic job. But to the Black Star, I'm seeing Black Star winning this game 3-1. But I'm seeing that the other country, is it Australia or?
Austria.
I'm seeing them scoring the first goal. But Ghana is going to win the game. It's going to be 3-1 against Austria. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Abdul.
Let me extend my greeting to my brother, Azidullah. Very soon he will become the communication officer for Upper West Region. Soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much for calling us. We do have another Abdul joining us as well. Good morning to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on this morning segment on Newday. Please share your thoughts with us. Hello? Hello, Abdul? Okay, it looks like we've lost him, but there's a message from Isaac Hughes, Takrad. It says, good morning, Beatrice and Akable Esquire. I pray our squad will go into this game with a winning mindset, though it's a friendly match. They should take it seriously, win the game, and Ghanaians will rally around them going into the World Cup tournament. Say hi to my wife, Mrs. Hughes, at Regional Coordinating Council, Sekendi Procurement Department. All right, I'm sure she just heard that. Thank you very much for sending in your message. Blade, do you have any more messages?
Yes, Prince Henry Kofoedia sent one about, there's one about Prince Nana York actually. Prince Nana York, he sent one about the Black Stars, saying that Ghana will win by 3-1, and that will give us a sign that we are ready for the World Cup. Thank you very much for sending that. Yes, I actually predicted 3-1 as well. Lots of 3-1 predictions coming through. Thank you all for sending your messages and calling to join the discussion. We have a final caller on the line. Beatrice, you do us the honors.
Yes. Good morning to you. Please tell us your name, where you're calling us from.
I said my name is Juan.
Your name is what?
From Honorable Joshua Mensah from Adansia Sokwa.
Yes, sir. Adansia Square. I hope the community is well this morning.
Yeah, everyone is fine.
Yes, sir. Please share your thoughts with us. What's your prediction? 3-1 as well?
Yeah, I think these guys are really doing good. And then my prediction for today's game is 2-1 against Austria.
2-1.
Yeah, and you guys are doing really great job. So we applaud you. Especially good morning to my Honorable MP for Adansia Sokwa District, Honorable Godwin Animali Dobaji Dorani. And we thank him for his great words. He should keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling us from Adansia Squad. That's in the Ashanti region, right?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Katie Amon's from our constituency, yes.
Yes, well, back up your day the Milky Way with the rich, smooth taste of peck milk shortcake. It is pure delight, yes. And we've got different flavors. There's chocolate, there's one, there's coconut and honey, all of that. So you can go to any shop near you and be sure that you get that rich, crunchy taste of peck, just to pick up your day.
Absolutely. Before we take a break, special congratulations going out to all my friends who are being called to the bar today. Many of you don't know, there's actually a call to the bar ceremony
Oh,
this
that's
morning.
nice.
Yes, it's the first match call that is taking place.
Okay.
It used to be formally called the mini call, but the new administration, the Chief Justice, the government for that matter, they've christened it the match call. So now there will be a match call and there will be an October call. And so the match call is taking place this morning at the University of Ghana.
How many people are being called?
I think about 155.
Okay.
155 individuals are being called to the bar this morning. And special congratulations to Cornelia Bleusi, Mensima Kwesin and your sister Abba Kwesin. Congrats to both of you, and Elfrida as well, and all the others who have been called to the bar this morning. We are waiting for you guys to send us the photographs so that we splash it all over. Congrats to you.
Is that
you have been called at the time that we're having a conversation about the legal reforms?
Is that also indirectly telling them you are getting at the bar?
I mean,
already.
That's a matter of fact. We don't have to say that. We don't have to say that at all. Yes.
Yeah.
We don't have to say that. Yes.
Yes.
So that will be it for this segment. We'll take a quick break. Yes, we'll take a quick break. But before then, you know that you can still participate in the cash out. It's very important to dial *439#. Follow the prompt and pick your favorite platform, TV3, and participate in this. And like we always say, it's a numbers game. The more you participate in it, the likely your chances of your number being picked. It's a random picking thing. I mean, they just click and it's done. So it's very important that you do it as well.
Yes. So as you play, we are also reminding you that you can pick up your day the Milky Way with the rich, smooth taste of Peck Milk Shortcake. Yes, it is pure delight. So we have cocoa-filled cookies, and I can tell you, I've tasted it. It's very crunchy and nice. And so that should be coconut choco-filled cookies and choco butter cookies. And there are different flavors that you can go to any shop and find just for you to enjoy. Take it in the morning, afternoon, and evening, and ensure that you're enjoying the rich taste of a Peck. Do stay with us. When we come back, we'll bring
South Africa show on a Friday. All you have to do is to dial the short code will be coming up on the screen shortly. *439#. Follow the prompt and pick your favorite platform number 2 and increase your chances of winning by participating multiple times. And that is how you get to win this on this part of the show in terms of the cash out aspect of the show as well. Thank you so much for always staying with us. To all our viewers who connect to us on television, those who send your messages through the various social media platforms, we thank you so much for joining us. We're going to have a conversation first about the legal reform bill that has been passed by Parliament. A very significant law that has been passed by Parliament. It will significantly change how we train lawyers in the country. I mean, for once it takes off, we'll have a situation where for the very first time we'll have lawyers who would say that, well, they never went to Makola, the Ghana School of Law located at Makola, where one of my panel members this morning, AB Senior went to Makola a long time ago. I also went to the same Makola. But now we'll have people who would go to school and they'll be lawyers and they would say that they didn't go to Makola because the monopoly that had been an issue of concern for many years has been broken finally. It's just waiting presidential assent, then the implementation will take place. What we'll do now is we're going to show you a very simple piece of graphic that will put everything that has transpired in context. And I'll explain to you the current framework, how I was trained, for instance, how long it took, and what the situation is currently with the proposed law that is coming in now. So that is coming up on the screen now. So this is what we had currently. Basically, the Ghana School of Law being where everyone is trying to get into, because that is where you do the professional training course, you do the various programs there, civil procedure, evidence, legal accounting, law practice, management, advocacy and legal ethics. All those professional law course programs are done at the Ghana School of Law. Now, we had a lot of law faculties across the country. If you compare to many years ago, in fact, many years ago, everyone who was basically a lawyer, either you attended Legon, then eventually it became KNUST, then you go to the Ghana School of Law, then subsequently UCC and all of the other faculties joined. Now we had an increased situation where as many as 14 law faculties were running the LLB program. In addition to post-call, the post-call, like I explained in the first segment, are those who are called to the bar in legal systems that are analogous to Ghana's legal system. So mainly the common law jurisdictions. So for instance, if you are called to the bar in the United Kingdom, you come down, you apply to join the Ghana School of Law, then you do undertake the 1-year post-call program, then you are called to the bar here in Ghana as well. And so there was a challenge that because a lot of people are coming from different faculties, all trying to get into the Ghana School of Law, it meant that space was a problem because the school was not expanding as significant as many would have expected it to. In actual sense, it got to a level that the Ghana School of Law was now using campuses of UPSA. So there was a law school session that was being held at UPSA. Also, GIMPA as well was also taking place there. Then eventually, then the normal Ghana School of Law that we know it as Makola, and the Kumasi campus at KNUST as well. All in an attempt to absorb the numbers, but still, it was still a big problem. And my year group, for instance, were about 3,500 that wrote the entrance exam. Those who were admitted were almost 1,000, 3,000 plus, then just 1,000 being admitted. There was a particular year that 120 out of more than 2,000 that wrote the exam were also admitted. So it came with its own challenges and concerns by different people. But this is how it's going to look now, the new system that we are going to have in place. So the Ghana School of Law will be there. From the bill that I've seen, unless something changed significantly, I've seen 2 functions. The post-call functions remains for the Ghana School of Law. Then there's also the bit about being a remedial school, because now there will be a national bar exam. So we have a situation where the law program, the degree program, will now be 3 years per the new bill. It will now be 3 years. Then afterwards, you do the law training program, the training program which will be for 1 academic year from September to June. Once you do that program, then you now be qualified to take the national bar exam. And when you pass the national bar exam, you are called to the bar. So those who may not pass the first attempt, you can do a remedial at the Ghana School of Law. It will still be available for the post-call as well. Then there will be the accredited School of Law. So that will be other universities that will be accredited to run the law training practice program. So that will be how things will look now. So in the previous system or the current system, because the law is here to take effect, we had a situation where you are going to have to do either 5 or 6 years, depending on whether you are doing the degree program as a first degree or as a postgraduate. You're going to do 5 or 6 years. But now it's been cut down to the degree program, 3 years, then you do 1 year professional program, then you take the bar exam. So 4 years, if all goes smoothly, you should be done. Once you take the national bar exam and you pass and you are called to the bar. So we still have a lot of law faculties still churning out. The difference between figure 1 and figure 2, like you would see, are the number of schools that will be offering the professional training program, which will go up. We don't know how many schools will be accredited for it to start. And so that is the significant change that is taking place by way of legal training and how our lawyers are trained here in the country. And so that is a bit of the state of affairs and how things will look once the new law takes effect. And already I've seen a number of individuals sharing their views on this particular matter and would engage my guests around the table on this subject as well. Let me introduce you to my guest around the table this morning. Kamaldeen Abdullahi is a Deputy Director of Communications for the new Patriotic Party, a former ambassador as well. His Excellency, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning and thank you for having me.
Also in the studio this morning, Ebo Bachman, Deputy Communications Director for the United Party. Ebo, always a regular on the Friday belt. Good morning, Ebo. Thank you as always.
Good morning. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Abraham Amaleba is a lawyer with the National Democratic Congress and Director General of the National Road Safety Authority as well. Leonard Sina, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, and good morning to your viewers. There's something bothering my mind. We are getting to Easter, and our drivers, because people will be traveling from left to right, the nooks and crannies of this country, and our drivers need to be very circumspect. The accident rates are going high, and it all borders on misbehavior of drivers, overspeeding, inattentive driving, failure to observe road signs. And I think that we need to have an Easter free of accidents. My appeal to them and road users and also travelers is not to cheer drivers on to speed, but to, as it were, ensure that if drivers are overspeeding, you caution them. If they fail to stop overspeeding or speeding, what you do is to get to the next police barrier, you report the driver to the police. That is a way we can stop some of the carnage on our roads.
Absolutely, absolutely. We hope for an accident-free Easter, and that's the advice from the National Road Safety Authority Director General Abraham Amaleba. And Senior, maybe let me start with you, Senior. And the law has been passed now. Is it fair to say that it's a very significant change in how we train lawyers? I'm sure you did the faculty then afterwards.
Yeah.
You went to the Ghana School of Law, then you were called to the bar. And now you can basically, you do 3 years, you go to any other university, you continue there, you do your law training program, then you take the national bar exam. Too radical?
I can tell you that it is the most revolutionary change to our legal education yet. This legal education reform bill is one that has changed the face of our legal education. What has it done? It has separated the regulation of legal education from the regulation of legal profession. So legal education is now regulated by a body different from regulatory legal profession. So the profession is still regulated by General Legal Counsel, but legal education is now regulated by a board that is under the new law. So you are not going to have the General Legal Counsel dealing with legal education anymore. It's a separate body that regulates it. Why am I saying it's a complete change or it's a revolutionary change? You will notice that our legal education was divided into two. There's a theoretical part, which was done by the faculties, and you say there are 14 of them. And there's the professional part, which was done by the Ghana School of Law. Now, what you are going to have now is that the faculties will now be empowered or will be given the opportunity to also provide the professional education. So University of Ghana has they now call it School of Law. The School of Law will do the theory, and that same School of Law will do the professional course. And that's how come we are saying that the Ghana School of Law monopoly over training lawyers has been broken. The next thing is that it is important to indicate that with this change, or let me say, how did we come about this? In the past, we only have the Faculty of Law providing students to the School of Law. In those days, it was like 60, 70 students. In fact, my year group was seen as outrageous. We were 200. But that's even a chicken for you people.
We were 990 something.
My year group was 200. They saw it as very large. But now I'm hearing they are in thousands and that kind of thing. So and also there came a time when we had a proliferation of law faculties. So you have the base being large, and like a pyramid, all of you are going to the law school. So you run on a 6-lane road and you are exiting on a 2-lane road. You can see the crowding there. So what did the law school do? They devised ways of failing students, not passing students. They must be deliberate to fail you.
You know, you can say it the other way around, that it now becomes very competitive, so that so that you have to pass in order to meet the limited number.
To fine-tune his comments.
You can say it the other way around. I think it's still
to fine-tune his
I think it's still actually the same. It's the same point still. It's the same point still.
At least you are all before the General Legal Council. Explain why you say they are failing students deliberately.
So, for instance, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
For instance, you have the exams to the law school, Section A and Section B. Now you are required to get, you may correct me because you wrote those ones. You are required to get 50 A and 50 B, is that it?
Yes. At least 50% on both sides. Yes. So you have to pass, basically you have to get more than half for both sides to get in.
But we all know that when you get 70% in an exam, it's passed. So you can get 50 here, get 20 B, you are failed. If that is not a way of deliberately failing students, what is it? So you can actually get 90% and still fail because you got 80 here and you got 10 here.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay. So you can get 90% and not enter the law school. So that's why I describe it as such, that it was a way to just fail students. And the numbers were huge. So based on that, I think that what broke the camel's back for the law school was, you remember this 440-something students who went on demonstration?
Yes.
And the police had to even pour tear gas on them, and there was a problem. There was an uproar in this country that why should students who want to go and learn law be treated in such a way? So that then shook the foundation of the law school. And you remember what the MPP did was to quickly bring all of them on board. I think they passed them.
Yes.
Just to assuage their pains. But we in the NDC thought that we needed to do something different. And you remember the students even went to former President Mahama, as he then was. Let me qualify the former president.
Very necessary.
As he then was. Not today. And then I think that, thank God to Dominic Ayene's General Attorney General, he brought that whole idea of, and you know, this is the American style, you know, because he went to Sandhurst, he had those ideas. And a committee was put in place. Then I was director of legal. I happened to be part of the committee. Raymond Atuba was there, Bassett was there, Dr. Bassett was there. I think Srimsai was there as well. Hudu Yahya was there as part of the committee. Those I've not mentioned, I can't remember, but it means that I just forgot. So we then came out with this idea, and then it was factored into our manifesto. So you heard Mahama Yarga yesterday say that this is a manifesto promise and we are fulfilling. So it is, people are talking about quality because they think that you have opened the floodgates, and that will mean that a lot of people will go through who lack the basic skills to become lawyers. But that was the same thing, the same argument they made when, apart from Legon, other faculties were also coming up with law faculties. I remember when Tech was going to, as it were, introduce law, they were looking down upon it and said, no, how can Tech do it now? So any new thing, people frown upon it. But I am sure that there will be some way of dealing with that one, where it is only the good ones who will come out as lawyers. The system will sieve itself. The system has a way of sieving who is a good lawyer and who is a bad lawyer. And even within the new system where legal education is going to be regulated by a different body, there will be a way, because the faculties are not just going to be accredited to do professional courses. There's a benchmark as to which faculties will qualify to provide that professional education. So be rest assured, I'm speaking this way because of comments from my senior, Sam Okujeto. I can understand him because he's a conservative. Those people don't want changes in any way. So, but the system will deal with the concerns he's raised. I think that it's a good thing, and that now, and don't forget that we need lawyers. The lawyer ratio is not good. Most of the lawyers are here in Accra. When you leave Accra, Kumasi, but the rest of the country, you can have a region with only 4 lawyers. You can have a region with 10 lawyers. That is not proper. So let's see how we can ensure that we give our young ones the opportunity to do the law. And I think what we can also do to ensure that the lawyer ratio is fairly distributed among the regions is for district assemblies or municipal assemblies to sponsor students and then bond them to come back to the region and serve the region. That's another way of dealing with it.
I mean, given that we all identify the problem to be a space problem, the previous government, they started the law village around the UPSA area. I mean, should that not have been pursued because the problem was a space problem? The conversation was barely about how the lawyers are being trained in terms of the course content. In fact, the course content, if you look at the training exam, it doesn't change significantly. Should that not have been pursued?
That was another way of looking at it. But what is short in that thinking is that you're going to have an overburdened law school that will not have the resources to provide these facilities everywhere. The budget for the law school is not going to be astronomically increased because you want to do that. But already there are structures in the universities that are providing these faculties. So why don't you just tap into them? You're not going to build a new, in this arrangement, you're not going to build a new edifice. But in that one, you're going to be building, so you need a law school, you build one in Bolga, you build one in Kumasi, you build one. That was going to be financially challenging. And that will not deal with the problem immediately. But you have accredited universities that have facilities that are already providing school, theoretical practice of the law. Why don't you just use them to ensure that you open access? So that was the thinking.
I mean, you agree that potentially the bottleneck could shift from, now it used to be at the entrance exam to get into the law school. Now it could shift to even doing the national bar exam proper.
That's the final exam. The same thing, the national bar exam. The national bar, so like the accountants who always complain that it's difficult passing their, what do they call their ACA or CCA?
It's basically models.
To charter.
It's in various models.
To charter.
Pass it,
I can foresee that, but that's the way to deal with the complaint of turning out half-baked lawyers.
So they may end up doing what you accuse the current GLC of.
No. That is why the law school will be there for remedials to assist for you to be able to pass your exam.
Because potentially in the next couple of years, you may have thousands who would have all completed a law training program. Then they'll sit for the national bar exam.
Yes.
It means that if everyone passes as we expect them to pass, we could have a year that 10,000 people call to the bar.
Yes, but you need to also have a gatekeeping role.
So it comes back to
but you are providing the law school to be the opportunity from which you can have your remedials to pass your exam. So we'll aid you to pass your exam with the law school.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me come to Mr. Abdullahi, and I had to stay a bit on AB because of his own. Yeah. He's a lawyer and his own training as well. So I mean, Mr. Abdullahi, I mean, from where you sit, I mean, the conversation has been on for a while. I mean, did you get a sense that there's a clear direction that brings some comfort to Ghanaians?
Once again, good morning to you, and good morning to Ebo and lawyer Amaliba, as well as our viewers. Let me first give credit to Professor Kuku
Asari.
Professor Kuku, Stephen Kuku Asari, popularly known as Professor Azar. He's been a strong advocate for such a revolution in the legal education environment. And of course, as we said today, the bill is just some few days away from being accented to by the president, as passed by Parliament today. Anything that has some component of education, okay, must not necessarily be politicized. It has always been my view that, look, we are seeking to develop the human resource of this country, okay? And in seeking to develop the human resource of this country, by extension, the human capital of this country is indeed going to be enhanced. Once it's education, we all have to come to the table, put in our bits and pieces of suggestions, fine-tune whatever policy that we want to churn out, and then bring it out to benefit all, which is exactly what happened yesterday in Parliament. And sitting where, given where I sit, and going through the law since last night, I think we have about 88 sections of the law completely, and including the memoranda. I looked at the memoranda, we summarized it, and then looked at the bill itself. For me, it is a going concern. There could be aspects of it, just as we have been able to depart from the law which was passed in 1958, which granted General Legal Counsel the right to indeed see to legal education. And for so many years down the line, we're now having to do with a proper revolution of it, necessitated by the conditions we find ourselves in. My brother, Lawyer Malva, says some deliberate way of failing people were even seen. You get what I mean? So obviously, if these are some of the reasons, there could be a genuine person who is so smart, who is so good, but the fact that the policy in place is not favorable, that person is denied the access to become a lawyer. So that's what I'm saying. That, look, anything that has to do with education, Akabli, we must all try to embrace it. It is not to say that we should not critique it when we're supposed to critique, to put things right. Again, that is why I said everybody should put his suggestions on the table and let's fine-tune it properly and come out with it. But where we are today, I think it's going to be a novelty going forward. What we don't now have to do is not to compromise on quality. Initially, we had only University of Ghana churning out lawyers, or if you like, churning out LLB holders, who would then go to Ghana Law School to become, if you like, trained lawyers. Now we have a plethora of universities, okay, undertaking legal courses, in this case, LLB. So what can we do, or what are we going to do with this law to ensure that that quality is not compromised? It's the most important thing we have to look at, okay? Again, what lawyer Amalba said, that some deliberate machinations were put in place to fail people.
But why are you referencing me on that?
I'm coming.
Why can't you also make it?
I'm making a point. Some deliberate moves were there to fail students. Are we sure that there will not be deliberate moves to pass students?
Okay.
That's the question now. If we now have them in numbers, and maybe monitoring may be a problem. Okay? Are we sure that some students in some institutions would not also be, if you like, advantaged, okay, to pass out? And when that happens, then the quality of lawyers that we're going to have in our system would actually be in question. That said, I think that it's a great idea. It's going to enhance the legal education, and it's going to help us on, and it will, of course, even help the General Legal Council to now concentrate on the professional aspect of it. Hitherto, they had to do with legal education, and they had to also deal with professionals, as it were. And let me tell you, there are a series of complaints before even the General Legal Council about some conduct of lawyers. Okay? Now, the focus is going to be on them. When I also looked at the composition of the board of this council, I was telling myself that it looks too political. Too political, honestly. First, it's going to be chaired by the Attorney General. The same Attorney General is going to recommend some members of the bar to be, on the board. The same Attorney General is going to get somebody who is a state attorney or something to be part of it. The same Attorney General. So for me, that aspect is quite political. Even though, yes, the Constitution says that the Minister of Justice is supposed to be a competent person who is in the legal industry. But of course, let us not take away politics from this. Where we are going to have the man taking care of even the composition of the entire board, then we should again look at the political aspect of it properly. I would have thought that, yes, we will fall on retired justices of the superior courts. We will fall on, if you like, senior lawyers in the academia to properly enhance the board. But if you look at the board, it smacks of so much politics. Okay? If it was that earlier and it's still going to be so, then I don't see so much changes. But I think that we should not try to give it that political coloration so much, because it has to do with the human capital development of this country, as it were. Now, what I would like to also add is that what has come up today, question is, should somebody sit for the national exam, bar exam, and could not make it? The law provides in somewhere, I think section 70 of it, that there could be a receipt for that person. It just mentions receipt. How many times is someone supposed to receipt until the person emerges as a proper person to be called to the bar? The law is silent on that, unless maybe I stand to be educated. And it reads, a person who fails the national bar examination the first time may, subject to the payment of the prescribed fee, okay, recite the national bar examination. Then clause 2, the National Bar Examination Committee shall prescribe rules to govern the receipt of the national bar examination. So, of course, here,
it has been provided for.
So here it has been provided for them. You get it? So the question is, how many times is someone allowed to recite national bar exam? I'm sure the regulations will define that going forward. So it means that this is actually the mother law to govern it. There may be series of legislations or series of regulations or rules that will come to enhance whatever we have. So clearly, it is not a bad day for Ghana. It is good for the legal industry. But just as we have done this, which is purely humanities, what are we doing in the sectors that will see necessarily the development of this country? The engineering aspect, the TVET aspect, the STEM aspect, which for me is more imperative. I'm not saying the legal education is not, which for me to develop this country is highly imperative and significant to us. So I will recommend that going forward as a country, we should revolutionize, just as we have done the legal industry, the sector of TVET as well.
Okay.
Kwame Nkrumah had what we call the PWD. And we were not there, but we've read something about it. We're told how effective the PWD was and how they were helping ministries and departments and agencies to build this country. If you wanted people to lay carpets, they were specialists. If you wanted people to paint, they were specialists. If you wanted carpenters, they were specialists. Today, we don't have that. We have left it. Now, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo also clearly thought that we have come to meet TVET. How can we enhance TVET? Just this morning on my way here, I hear they are facing budgetary constraints. They don't even have money to procure equipment to train people on the TVET. I'm saying, and that is the only way we can develop this country. So we should not concentrate entirely on the humanities aspect. We should also look at the STEM aspect, science, engineering, technology, and mathematics. If we are able to do this properly, this country would actually be a place to live in and be happy. Okay. But of course, that said, this is a good call for us, and we all support it. We only hope and pray that the quality shall not be compromised.
Before I come to Ebo, just a minute with you, Ebi. The concern he raises on the governing body of the council. Yeah. So there's the Attorney General, who is the Minister for Justice as chairperson. One person nominated by the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, not below the rank of a Chief State Attorney. 3 reps of the bar, each not less than 15 years experience. A representative of the ministry responsible for education, then a rep from GTech, nominated by GTech, and a person who teaches law in an accredited university. So I guess the first initial one. But if you compare this to what we have currently for the General Legal Council, it's chaired by His Lordship the Chief Justice. Then there are Justices of the Supreme Court. So currently Justice Gabriel Palmine. There's another Justice of the Supreme Court, Avril Lovelace Johnson. Then the Attorney General is there as well. Then because of the law being very old, the requirement of the Dean of the University of Ghana Law School was always a part of it. And there's the National President of the Bar, Vice President, Secretary. Then there's the Ghana Bar Association. Then a senior lecturer at the University of Ghana as well, who is an appointee basically, who joins as well. So basically, if you compare the two, it appears one is more or less being given to executive power now, so to speak. You agree with that?
Exactly. The current is more or less giving executive power. It's more political.
What you read from the General Legal Council, don't forget that was also going to deal with
the profession.
The profession. So heavily packed with judges to deal with the profession as well as them. But now you are separating. So now this General Legal Council is still intact. They are there like that. But this time you are dealing with legal education. And so the structure too will be different. And when you look at it, apart from the Attorney General himself and one person he appoints, that's the only.
Was that it? I think, okay, well,
that's the only. That's the only. But the rest outnumber the two of them.
Okay.
The rest outnumber the two of them. So it's not detrimental because when you look at it, the influence from the government is only 2, Attorney General and somebody he appoints.
There will be a third one, a retired Justice of the Superior Court nominated by the Attorney General
again.
Okay.
Yes. Nominated by the Attorney General.
Attorney
It's more for executive.
Yeah, so, but you see that even...
Then if you have a rep coming from the Ministry of Education as well?
Again, executive.
No. But what I'm saying is that you are bringing a retired judge. Somebody would have still appointed that retired judge.
Okay.
Even if it is the First Lady.
Okay.
He will still appoint a retired judge.
All right.
So you see that it is specifying the people you appoint. It is not left to him. Now, do you think that a retired judge at that level can be, bamboozled by an Attorney General?
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
Because the quality, the person you are bringing is of substance that you don't expect that the Attorney General will be, guiding him left and right. So that's what I'm talking about.
All right. Ebu, this is the time to start your law.
Let me tell you, when I was going to Legon, law was my second choice. People thought I was going to read law because I used to be very argumentative, growing up. Even at the university, people were,
so you can love football and be argumentative.
Yeah. And I also know, of course, I was a very good footballer.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. I was a very good footballer. I played for even Legon team. Mohamed Polo was our coach. So I was a Ogasco national. I played. But you see, what is the end game of this new law? For me, that is what is important. Whatever we are going to get out of it is what is important, not what we have produced. In terms of the law, what will be the end game? Because I know the reason why lawyers have this restrictive entry point is the issue of demand and supply. The lawyers want to always, normally professional bodies would want to create scarcity. to have high prices for their services. Because demand and supply will tell you that if you have more supply exceeding demand, your value, your price will fall. The opposite holds. So they always want to create that scarcity in the system. That's what accountants do, to have a few chartered accountants in the system, to have a few lawyers. That was the motive behind having that restrictive entry point. So now, is it going to be a matter of the restriction being shifted or being moved from entry to the final exam, where still they make sure they produce few lawyers to have that scarcity and value? That is very important. So we are yet to see. But obviously, I think they want to expand, if you like, access. I mean, to create that opportunity for a lot of people. So expansion of access is very important. That's what I see as the end game, to promote merit. I think they want to have a shift from, because of the restriction they were having, the system became more like you need to know someone, to be able to get to the law school. It became at a point in time, it became who you know. So you need to know someone before you can become a lawyer. Even if you are sharp,
otherwise you'll be deliberately failed.
If you are sharp, you still need someone to help you. Now I think there's going to be from what I'm seeing, there's going to be a shift from who you know to what you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So because now equal access and all that, also to modernize the system, is also one of the end games. Also to improve regulation and standards. I think we want to have lawyers who can best be described as lawyers. Yeah. Because in recent times, all the lawyers we've had in this country, it's really difficult to refer to them as lawyers. When you hear them speak and they tell you this man is a lawyer, you wonder how he became a lawyer. So you need to improve the standards, then also to produce more practical, job-ready lawyers. Lawyers, there are people who have completed law school. They can't go to the court because they don't have what it takes to stand before judges and to even argue their cases. You need to cure, this law should be able to cure all this to ensure that we have practical lawyers who are job ready. So the moment you come, one way we need to reduce unemployment is to create more lawyers, because lawyer, you are expected to have your own chamber or join another chamber. Hardly will a lawyer become unemployed. Hardly. So,
but these days, because of the numbers, getting a place even for your pupillage is very difficult now.
Yet you are being told that in terms of ratio, we have one lawyer is to about 6,000.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the
6,000.
In terms of the workload, I mean, I have no doubt in my mind that we need a lot of lawyers. Like the things that I'm dealing with on a daily basis is so much.
So we need more.
No doubt. But it's very weird that on the flip side, you can't get the space to get in.
Yeah.
When you get in, the work that one person is doing, it's like work for 10 people.
10 people, yeah. So in a nutshell, we need more lawyers, more quality lawyers.
We don't have enough chambers. I think that's what where you can do
no firms.
Yeah. So I think it's a good thing. I mean, it's a feather, a beautiful feather in the cap of the government. As I say, we don't have to politicize this. We don't have to make any political capital out of it. It's a good reform. You see, I will go with Kamal. He said something that's quite interesting, because which other areas of our education system are we reforming?
Exactly.
I mean, look at the challenges we have. We need to reform based on challenges we have. One major challenge we have as a nation is the issue of unemployment. How are we reforming our education system to solve that problem?
To solve that problem, that is just key.
It's very important.
Very key.
JSS, SS, if you're going to call it JHS, SHS, and university education. What are we going to do to ensure that students that come out will not think of writing application to go and look for a job as the first option?
Because the person has something in hand to do.
It's very important.
Exactly.
So yes, we agree this is a very fantastic reform, because it's going to, if you like, expand access, promote merit, and also modernize the system. Let's look at what we can do to our education system to solve the problem of unemployment. For me, that is more crucial and more critical as a nation. So with that said, I think it's a good thing, and we should support it.
All right. Some of you have been sending your messages to us. A lot of you are saying that you are going to you are waiting for you are wondering when the implementation will start. I don't know whether
the president has an answer to it yet.
The president will have to sign it. We'll sign it first. Then we'll see what will happen. You're excited that it will be 3 years. Musa Abatwa, you say that you agree with Amaliba that the world is evolving rapidly and individuals of advanced age such as may find it challenging to adapt to those changes, and the passage of the groundbreaking legal education reform is bold, prudent and forward looking there. So that is it. We'll look out for the president signing it into law, whether there will be some other regulations that will be coming up as well, and
but at least let me commend the minority on this particular matter. I heard John Darko yesterday speak and praising the new law, what has been passed. Like Kamal said, I'm sure this bill received concurrence from both sides.
They did.
And I want to commend them for that.
In fact, I heard the minority leader and I didn't get a sense of any concerns.
Yeah, I didn't even hear minority leader.
Yeah.
I heard John Darko, who is their legal advisor. He spoke highly of the bill. But like he said, as we go on, we'll be fine-tuning the rough edges. Yeah.
All right. This is what our first president said. He set up the Ghana School of Law, and when the first crop of lawyers were passing out, he said the demand for the services of lawyers is great and varied. Our local authorities, our city and municipal councils, state corporations and enterprise, and the central government itself will benefit greatly from the services of lawyers. Lawyers in Ghana will therefore be called upon to play an increasingly important role in the progress, development, and reconstruction of the country. Ghana will look to you to serve her with humility, honesty, integrity, and loyalty. We do not expect you to regard yourself as a privileged class, engaged in a selfish scramble to acquire wealth and influence. We expect you to identify yourselves fully with the people and with their hopes and aspirations, and apply your knowledge and energies fully for their welfare and progress. There's a concluding part where he says, ye must not in your profession limit yourselves to only what you do in terms of the courts only. As lawyers of the New Africa, you must be ever ready to assist the ordinary men and women, the farmers, the workers, the market women in the towns and villages in their everyday legal problems by providing sound advice whenever they need it. You must remember at all times that law does not operate in a vacuum. Its value and significance must be related to its impact and overall importance of the people and the state. You have qualified as lawyers at a most crucial period in the history of Africa.
This statement sounds very fresh. It doesn't look like it was said in the 60s. It sounds very fresh. When you look at the tone and the categorization of where we may need lawyers or services of lawyers by him, it looks like he's speaking today. That was quite a visionary statement that he made.
Absolutely. This was on 22nd June.
Because as we said, we have over 260 something MMDCs, right? Is this 261
or 62?
Very well. Question is, do we have legal officers in all our district assemblies? First question. Or they are relying on legal aid for such assistance. Wouldn't it be prudent for every single local government authority, just as he put it, to have at least a legal advisor within? Who would advise? Look, you put an MC there who is very political. Issues of negotiations come, issues of contracts come. He doesn't even understand it. He goes ahead and he signs. Tomorrow, the district assembly is supposed to be hauled before court by some contractors. Issues. As we speak, there are companies, road contractors, whatever. They don't even have lawyers in their firms. You should have a lawyer. They wait until they have a problem. They go looking for a chamber that they will look for a lawyer. That's a good lawyer. Look, if we are deliberate about it. Of course, this revolution would bring about more jobs and would bring about enhancing the entire, if you like, legal fraternity in terms of also, absorbing.
But the first batch of the law school were 9 students. One of them, who taught me family law, said that they were being mocked at. Because, in fact, even establishing that law school, Nkrumah faced challenging because they said you can't be why every lawyer was trained from outside. So
yes.
what kind of law school? What who are you for? They were looking down upon, and now see where they even cited Makola.
They will look at champions.
So they were being mocked at.
Because now the new thing will be that every lawyer was trained at Makola, but now every lawyer is not
everybody thinks so well.
So they were being mocked at, but we've come a long way.
Well, interesting there.
But the law also says from 5 institutions have been accredited already. To start, because Ghana Law School is one, UPSA is one, Legon is one, and I think KNUST is also one.
Okay.
And the last one is it Gimpa?
I think those are
already existed before now.
They're already using their campuses now. They're already using their campuses.
So they may be the.
So automatically
automatically that's what the law. I think the law recognizes them.
So let's see how all of that plays out. Let's talk some politics now. And the New Patriotic Party, they are taking on the first gentleman of the land and by extension his brother Ibrahim Mahama. We understand the petition is being sent to the Shraj, alleging some issues of conflict of interest. Let's listen to the minority speak directly on these matters. First, the issue surrounding the Daman mine, previously operated by Goldfields. Then we'll also hear from them on the presidential jet or the private jet of Ibrahim Mahama.
We call for the immediate publication of the full bidding documentation, including the date of formal tender initiation, the criteria, the tender committee's composition, and the evaluation methodology, in compliance with LI 2176. 2, compulsory disclosure of the full beneficial ownership of all 3 bidding entities, including EMP connections, with compliance with Ghana's EITI corrective action obligations. Because we are beginning to smell a rat. Ghana is watching 2 things happen at once. It is watching the Damai gold mine being arranged for the president's brother. And it is watching that the same brother's private jet carried the president on official state visits, free of charge, we are told, while his companies accumulate hundreds of millions of dollars in state-linked contracts. These are not separate stories. They are the same story. They share an author, a beneficiary, and a constitutional problem. Taken together, they present the most serious conflict of interest question to confront any Ghanaian presidency since the Republic was.
So you had the minority there speaking on these 2 issues, the Daman mine and the presidential jet. And let me start with you, Mr. Abdullahi, on this one. Is there enough basis to ground such serious allegations as we are hearing the minority make?
I think, for me, honestly speaking, there's so much basis and a lot more to even add to what the minority press conference actually enumerated yesterday. First, let's begin this way. Who is the president of Ghana? And who is supposed to take care of the president of Ghana? And with what resources is the president of Ghana supposed to be taken care of? So the first question is, the president of Ghana is the one who Ghanaians go to line up in December to elect as their president, as enshrined in the Constitution or as guaranteed by the Constitution. The president of Ghana is the one who is sworn in duly by the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana to uphold the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana and render himself to the services and regulations or whatever of the Constitution. That is why in the wisdom of the framers of the Constitution, they say that even the president is immune from prosecution. No matter what he does, he cannot be taken to court, he cannot be arrested, he cannot. Look, the president is so important to us. The state makes available every single thing that the president needs to function. This is what it is. Question now is, my brother has a plane, I'm the president of Ghana, Can you depart to just say, because my brother has a plane, let me use my brother's plane? Or it is the onus or the onus lies on the state to ensure that your travel is so official, important to us, and we have to take care of you. Or you can do anything you want. Fundamentally, this alone negates what the president is doing. Fundamentally. Because my brother has this, my uncle has this, what has this? What actually constitutes nepotism and favoritism? These are some of the things. We're in this country, when we're even arguing that a government is what? Friends and cronies government, or family and friends government. The fact that someone is even appointed, the likes of Honorable Amalaba and his NDC people will come out to say that, look, family and friends, to the extent that Sami Jefi held a press conference bringing up pictures of relations of the president or close to the president, appointed. Today, the state has a duty to take care of our president. The state has a duty to ensure that his safety is guaranteed. The state has a duty to pay for his official visits. The state has a duty to do all. You have put all this aside. Say, my brother has a jet, so I'm going to use my brother's jet. When we ask you, say, oh, not at the expense of Ghana. Who told you Ghana that cannot fund your trip? Who said so? So, for me, the president, what he's doing smacks of favoritism, nepotism, just as the minority have said, indicated. Because even if it's not so, somebody is justified to make such allegations. That, look, you have a brother who has a company that bids for government contracts. You have a brother who has a company that bids for government assets, if it's on sale, or if it's on whatever. Now you say, I want to use my brother's estate. The next moment you hear your brother is going to bid for this. What will be your position as a president?
But I mean,
these are the new questions.
Yeah, but
you may not be doing it.
But let's stay on the two issues.
Yes.
So, for instance, if you pick the Daman mine, for instance, I mean, it's the government has.
No, let's not. I'm not narrowing to Daman mine alone.
Okay.
I'm not narrowing to it alone. I'm not saying that a brother or a relation of a president cannot do business.
But
That's not what
topic
please,
we are here
that is not what I'm
talking
saying.
about. You can't
That's
say
not what
that
I'm
you're not talking about
I am saying
You are
that.
not
I said I'm
to
not
talk
narrowing.
about
Listen to me.
anything.
I
We
said
have a topic.
no.
We have a topic.
No. What I said was that I'm not narrowing it to only Daman.
Yeah, but,
I am making. I'm making a statement
but the
that,
basis
of course,
for
morally and subjectively,
but the basis,
we need to look at.
Yeah, but the basis for the petition references those two issues.
I have not said they have no references. I said I'm not narrowing my submission to that. No.
That's fine. So I'm interrogating the two issues that are in the petition.
Yes.
And I'm saying that limiting to those two issues, do you sense that there's been an abuse of public office in relation to those two issues?
You see, you lawyers always make the subjective and the objective argument. Objectively, what would a reasonable man say seem to be happening? It's grounded in law.
Yeah, but I mean, and
I'm saying that you may bring
when Sami Jefi did that news conference, the MPP were also making the other arguments that you are suggesting I am advancing as well. You'll be making the same arguments that, I mean, if the president's relatives are doing business, you have to ask the question that did they win those contracts?
Nobody said that. Look, if you listen to me, I said there's nothing that stops a president relation from doing business. I didn't say that, but I'm saying that it is the actions of the president, maybe what ought to have been done by the state for him. Then the president says, because my brother has this, and the same brother is in the business field, okay, he wants to go and use it. Because I listened to Felix Ofozukachi, who said that they were paying nothing for the usage of the jets, and that they were only fueling it. Apart from that, no charges. And we want to, and that's why I started by saying that it's the state's responsibility to ensure that the president is taken care of. In this case, we are told that my brother has a jet. The state responsibility has been what? Shelved. So my point here I'm making, so after using it, what in return does he get? That is what somebody will make the objective argument that maybe he's in return he's going to be favored for some government contracts. It may not be so, but do not create environment for people to raise some of these matters. So point is that, with the greatest respect to the President of the Republic of Ghana, what he's doing today, it is not proper. With the great respect to the people of Ghana, we voted for a president who who we are supposed to take care of. If the president must travel and there's no jet, in fact, you people said the jet was in pristine condition. That jet has been packed. If there's no jet, what you have to do is to find a way, either use commercial or rent a jet for the president to travel. But not to say my brother has a jet and for that matter I'll bring it in. In public service, it's a no, no, no.
Okay.
Completely.
Okay.
It's a no, no, no.
Abi, on the jet issue, you agree that that raises questions?
Akufo-Addo was living in his father's house. Was that conflict of interest?
Oh. What? That cannot be.
Akufo-Addo was living in his father's house.
That's not.
Was it not also the duty of the state to house him?
I mean, but senior, what if
I disagree?
The property has been transferred to him now. He's the owner now.
Absolutely. You don't even have details of that.
I don't know for a fact, but between the two of us, that's a possibility.
What I know, that was his father's house.
Yes, but it could have been willed to him.
Was that also conflict of interest?
The father was not living.
Was that also conflict of interest? Look, what is conflict of interest? It's where a person's interest interferes with their ability to act professionally.
Really?
Or impartially. It's where a person's interest interferes with his ability to act impartially. So where does this come in? How does the president, using his brother's jet, inhibit him to act impartially? How does where is it?
That's NDC speaking today.
Where is it? Where is it? And who says that a president cannot say that I do not want to burden the public purse, and so if you want to buy a car for me, I'll use my wife's car, and that's a problem?
It's not a problem.
Is that a problem? I do not want to burden the public purse, so I want to use my wife's car. Is that a problem? How is that a problem? Aren't we supposed to even praise that president for not, as it were, dipping his hands into the public purse and allowing the public purse to be used for other things?
I mean, but maybe if public officers are living off the benevolence of private citizens, especially when those private citizens are active participants in the competitive business space, don't you see that as a possible problem? So, for instance, if those private individuals are bidding for government contracts, the decision maker is aware that this private person doles things out to government officials, would that not play at the back of his mind that, well, we have to give the contract?
When I started my submission here, I said Akufo-Addo is living in his father's house. I didn't say Akufo-Addo is living in a businessman's house. This is a brother of the president. In fact, the president could even say, I don't want to take my clothing allowance. My brother will buy for me. Is that a problem? I'm just asking you. That's why I'm looking at your face. You can see how convoluted that argument is. A president decides to use his brother's jet. What you can be talking about, and I would agree with that, is about security reasons. Is that jet and the pilots, are they qualified because of security reasons to, as it were, fly the plane? If our concerns is security reasons, I will join them and say that let's ensure that when he's flying it, the security of the president is tight. But a president chooses to say that I don't want to burden the public purse, and there's somebody complaining. Can you imagine? And this Daman thing. Do they know that the Daman mines was granted in 2024? And who was the government at the time?
When you say it was granted, what do you mean?
The approval of the Daman to Ibrahim Mahama was in 2024.
Yeah, that was a no objection letter.
I'm saying that was it. It started then.
Yeah, but the no objection letter basically saying that you can negotiate with Goldfields.
But I'm saying
as it stands now, in fact, the government statement says that the selection will be done through competitive bidding. So as it stands now, no one has been awarded a contract.
So that's why I'm saying that they are hullabaloo this morning or yesterday, whatever. Do they know that the process started in 2024 and that letter was given? Do they know? Was that under Mahama? Was that under Mahama? So you have an opposition that is groping in the dark. You see, there has never been a time where a government has gone for full 1 year and a half running to, and you cannot find scandal. So that has dazed the opposition. And they are wondering how to smear this government with some scandal which they can run with. But much as they do that, they are unable to find any mad sticking. Really? So something which is not even an issue, the opposition will want to raise it to a national discussion. And try as they do, it falls down like a pack of cards. And so I'm sure they haven't yet come out from that 38%. And if that is what is dazing them, I think it is important for them to come out of it.
Okay.
What is more, as it were, conflict of interest than when you gave your brother, your cousin, the finance minister, and he was collapsing competitors' banks?
That one was conflict of interest.
What is more than that?
Really?
What is more conflict of interest?
Listening to
what is more conflict of interest than a finance minister using his banks as transaction advisors and pocketing that money? What is more conflict of interest than that? Today, you are mounting the high moral ground to talk about conflict of interest. That time you didn't go to law school to know what conflict of interest is. You've suddenly gone to your law school and you now know conflict of interest. When this conflict of interest you are talking about does not wash. And so, tomorrow, President Mahama can say that, look, I do not want to take my salary. Ibrahim Man will feed me. What is your concern about that? What is your concern about that? My brother will feed me. What is your concern about that? People who, and that's why they will continue shrinking as a minority until they begin to do the right things.
Okay. Do you find these two issues to be weighty matters? Mr. Abdullahi basically suggests that the optics, from what I know from him, he says the optics may be a problem. They may not be maybe a serious legal issue, but there may be some optic issues there. You share that concern, the president flying around in the brothers.
You should have also summarized what I also said so that he can talk about it too. But he's doing one way.
I heard you.
So Kamal did said this, and I also said that.
Okay.
Then
I heard you. I heard you.
Senior, calm down.
So why is MPP trying very hard to make the two issue one issue? Two issues, one issue. These are separate issues. Let's not marry the two. Let me ask my brother Kamal, Dr. Baumia's brother, who was given Cocoa Road contract, which was even inflated 3 times the price. What did he do for his brother before he was given a contract? Did he do anything for his brother before he was given a contract?
No, we didn't hear that. He's a businessman. I told you that every single businessman. So it doesn't mean that when you are not
so the point is that Mr. Ibrahim Mahama did not have to do something for his brother. He shouldn't have to do something for his brother before, if he's really going to favor him, he will favor him. So let's not marry the two issues. These are two separate issues we are talking about. And of course, I understand the position of the MPP. You see, except that they are wasting everybody's time with this needless scandal fishing expedition. Of course, you need to understand them because they know their regime, their 8 years in power was riddled with accusations of or allegations of conflict of interest all over the place. At every turn, you will see conflict of interest. AB, you just mentioned one. what is more conflict of interest than Ken Ofori-Atta? What Ken Ofori-Atta did? Borrowing money senselessly because he was
when
getting...
you borrow money is conflict of interest. Is that you understand of conflict of interest?
No, but listen to this. Let me land. Because his company, the Data Bank, was benefiting from it. His company, Data Bank, was benefiting from it. That was why he was borrowing senselessly. Because anytime you borrow, he benefits. What is more conflict of interest than that? I just gave you Dr. Bawumia's brother's situation.
Just conflict of
interest. So when you talk about issue of conflict of interest, the last people to talk about conflict, isn't people, I don't know why they don't want to focus on how to build their party, but they're engaging in these useless press conferences. Let me tell you this. When we are discussing the issue of private jet, for me, two issues come out very importantly. First, the issue of safety of the president.
Which AB raised as well.
His safety is paramount. In fact, his safety comes before any other person's safety in this country, as a first gentleman of the land. The second issue is the issue of cost to the state. So anytime he moves, we think about two things. Probably when it comes to the issue of safety, we can talk about his convenience, his comfort. We can talk about the issue of probably, I mean, you could look at other factors, but safety is very important, and cost to the state. So now as we speak, our jet is not in good condition. So in terms of safety...
Since when?
So in terms of safety, we can't depend on it.
I mean, but you remember the political conversation just
in terms of, that's what we are told. In terms of safety, we can't depend on it.
So Okudato lied.
So
when he said it,
when you were speaking,
I'll give you some time to.
So let's look at other options in light of safety and cost to the state, and see which option is the best for us. Because the first option is the president taking commercial flights. So in light of safety and security, is it the best for our president to take commercial flights? In terms of risk, safety risk and security risk, probably the cost will be low, but what about the risk? Are you getting the point? So you need to analyze it from these two perspectives. The second option is the president also renting expensive private jet like Akufo-Addo did.
That's what they want, so they can talk about it.
$18,000 per hour, $20,000 per hour. So even here, safety, because it's private man's jet. Do you know the security implication? What they may have, hidden somewhere to record the president. Even safety, that one is not even the best. Look at the cost too, very expensive. So this one also doesn't come in, because if you look at the issue of safety and cost, it doesn't come in. Let's look at the next one. The president don't travel at all. Sit home until our private jet is ready. It's another option. But that one is no, because the president must move. Are you getting it? The next option to consider is the president renting his brother's jet. Because the brother is also a businessman. He can rent it out. So here you can say, in terms of safety and security, I would prefer this one to commercial and renting. In terms of security, so the president taking his brother's jet or renting his brother's jet, in which case we are going to pay. So cost will be very high, but safety will be very low. Then the next option, which the president is doing now, is to have a higher safety with your brother's higher security or low security risk with your brother's jet at almost no cost, except the fuel cost and landing cost. I mean, so what is the noise coming from MPP? Why the noise coming from MPP? That if you have such a situation and the president's safety is very paramount, and the president says, in these circumstances, or under these circumstances, what is good for me in terms of my safety is to depend on my brother's jet. Now, you've shifted the goalpost. You say now, he's using it because so that he will be able to favor his brother. Or the brother has given his private jet to the president so that when he bids for contract, the president will say no. Or sorry, cannot say no. Does it make sense? Would this man, Mr. Ibrahim, will have to do this to the president or for the president before he can get contract from the president? before you can get. Let me ask you. Let's be practical about it. That's why I asked you a question. Akufo's daughter, who was given painting contract worth $25 million or so, an ambulance spare part contract. What did she do for the father before the father gave her those contracts? So what kind of argument is this? Now with the Daman one, I wish Mr. Ibrahim Mama would be giving more such contracts. All the contract the white people, let me tell you, gold production, Canada, Australia, America, China, they produce more gold than Ghana. Yet they have mining companies in Ghana. We need more Ghanaians to own our mining companies. If you can have 20 of Ibrahim's type in this country owning our mining companies, I'll be very glad to have somebody like that. A very hard-working man, a very generous man, hard-working. He's working all over the place in Africa. And if you want to marry the two issues because your party is collapsing, and so you want to also paint this government with a certain brush to also look bad, and so you have to create all these stories, I'm telling you, when it comes to the issue of conflict of interest, all those hypocrites who had a press conference, none of them was able to speak against Ken Ofori-Atta's what Ken did in this country. Okay. In a conflict of interest.
All right. All right. Just a minute. Yes. We are wrapping up a minute. Yes.
It's important. He says our party is collapsing. I'm surprised if 31,000 people put themselves together to call themselves a political party, and who would not come out to even tell us the vision they have for Ghana, and rather want to serve as surrogates to a ruling government. We'll call a party. We'll call a party. With all respect, we'll call a party that is formidable, that is stronger, has a tradition.
Which people are 31,000?
I'm talking to UP. 31,000 people. You put yourself together and call yourself a political party.
Before we started that,
let me continue.
What will happen is that if there is fighting, they will say that.
I am saying that.
I told you.
I'm saying that. You see, I'm not surprised that some group of 31,000 people put themselves together after their frustration and call themselves a political party, come to sit there and serve as surrogates of NDC, okay, and want to tell a party that is formidable that party is actually collapsing.
Collapsing because of the corruption.
Let me tell you something.
Because of the corruption of management,
the president.
Please, one.
One minute. A president who actually is supposed to walk his talk and walk his principles is a president who will not say my appointees and my good self must abide by my code of conduct. Which code of conduct spells out conflict of interest, spells out to the extent that it says even when you get a gift of 20,000 cedis, you must declare. Then the same president turns away to say that, look, I have been given a private jet by my brother, and then we shouldn't talk of nepotism, we shouldn't talk of favoritism, we should rather clap hands for him, and even at the expense of his own code of conduct. That is the highest hypocrisy we are talking about. So for me, when you talk of hypocrisy, this is clear. But of course, finally to end this is a precedent we are setting for our mother Ghana. Let no one come out to say tomorrow that one president is there and his brother, like the example he has given, Baumia's brother is a businessman and this person is a business. Let no man come to sit here and tell us that this was what was happening. I think it's dangerous for Ghana and we should all speak against it. But not to come and say when it suits you, it's fine. When it doesn't suit you, it's not fine. Really? What kind of country are we building?
81 minutes.
I think the MPP is looking for a twin.
We're not looking for a twin.
And they are looking for a twin in the NDC. So that
equalization.
So that they will say that but they will not get that from us. We know how to rule this country. In any case, do you know that they have gone further to even talk about, they have the audacity to talk about toll booths. When you close that toll booth one hot afternoon, you people, you close our toll booth, the whole country, one hot afternoon. The reason was what? There's traffic. These people, I don't know where they get their courage from. A bunch of people, wrongdoers, but they would turn around and put pressure on somebody who's already doing the right thing.
The proverbial bird that muddies the water upstream runs downstream and asks who did it.
Who did it?
That's it.
So I think that Up for getting a twin in the NDC, they will not get us. They won't get us.
I'll give you the
fair. This thing is not good. Speak against it.
What is so good?
If your brother is doing something, it's not good.
What is not good? Come on, we're in this country. When ex-convicts came to this country with one suitcase, overnight they became millionaires. Ex-convicts, UK ex-convicts, they came to this country with one suitcase because their cousin, because the cousin became president. He's now a millionaire overnight. So that we've seen this in this country. So my brother,
concentrate on your 31,000 pounds.
No, you see, let me tell you something.
That is very important.
It's interesting.
This NDC card you are playing, it will not help you.
I'm not telling you. It's sickening.
How about NDC? They will need you to
the It's sickening to hear MPP speak the way they do.
What is sickening?
Look at a political party. That date, 99% social. Complaining that someone has done 44%.
Have you checked the records?
I mean, what is wrong with MPP? What is wrong with MPP?
Haven't checked the records.
What is wrong with MPP?
Check the records. So please,
MPP should pray that God gives them someone like Ibrahim Ahmad in their party. Because their party is a bunch of selfish people.
Oh my God.
Very selfish wimple. In those days, if somebody is tight-fisted, you call a person wimple. When people in your party, pray that you get someone like Ibrahim Ahmad in your party.
I think they also
instead of attacking him, pray for his kind in your party.
You know that the current jet is not well.
So you
want the president to fly that jet.
No, I mean, so you knew the jet wasn't well. So Abdullah was lying to Ghanaians when he said the jet was actually in good condition. Black, what check did you do?
That's all time.
That the jet was. But the thing is that you now today, you know the jet is not good.
My guest this morning.
Don't you rather be shut up?
My guests this morning have been Ambassador Kamaldeen Abdullahi, a former ambassador to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Deputy Director of Communication.
Former Consul General to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Former Consul General to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Deputy Communications Director for the MPP as well. Thank you for joining us. Ebu Bakman is Deputy Communications Director for the United Party. He also joined us in the studio. Abraham Amaliba is Director General National Road Safety Authority and a legal practitioner as well. He also
let's join hands to call on the safety of the roads in Easter. Actually, those going to Kwawu, we should all actually.
I hear people have visited Soloku in
So Big Issue is sponsored by the University of Gold Coast. Whether you are aiming for a specialist MBA in marketing communication, operations, supply chain, human resource management, finance, entrepreneurship, innovation, or business intelligence analytics, or you want to advance through our dual MBA or chartered manager MBA, University Gold Coast gives you options that match your vision. And if your next step is an MSc in international relations, communication, international marketing, international law, security diplomacy, accounting, finance, or human resource management, an LLM in international law, security diplomacy, or an MA in biblical studies, practical theology, the pathway is open. April admission is now open as well. You can apply today because at University Cape Coast, we make it practical, flexible learning, flexible entry, and flexible payment. You get opportunity to study around your work and life. Choose a route that fits your background and pay in convenient installments. Your dream deserves structure. Your future deserves strategy. Your purpose deserves training. You can apply now at www.ugc.edu.gh or you can call or WhatsApp on 0263 88855. That is University of Gold Coast. Thank you so much for sponsoring this segment. And like they say at University of Gold Coast, building leaders for the nations. That's all time would allow us. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk.
4 officially begins.
Digit PIN. Choose the maximum content rating you're comfortable with. Any content above this rating will require the PIN. Restricted titles appear locked across the app. Trying to play restricted content prompts for the PIN. Correct entry unlocks access for that session. Multiple incorrect attempts can temporarily lock access. Parental control on Adisa Plus. Available now. Adisa Plus. Safe streaming your way. Adisa Plus parental control helps you manage what your kids can watch. Open settings and select parental control. Enable the feature and create a 4-digit PIN. Choose the maximum content rating you're comfortable with. Any content above this rating will require the PIN. Restricted titles appear locked across the app. Trying to play restricted content prompts for the PIN. Correct entry unlocks access for that session. Multiple incorrect attempts can temporarily lock access. Parental control on Adisa Plus. Available now. Adisa Plus. Safe stream your way. Adisa Plus parental control helps you manage what your kids can watch. Open settings and select parental control. Enable the feature and create a 4-digit PIN. Choose the maximum content rating you're comfortable with. Any content above this rating will require the PIN. Restricted titles appear locked across the app. Trying to
Kudus game. Are you ready? Kudus game.
I'm feeling good because Capstitch decided to, give me this one.
Oh, lovely. Nice. Yeah, it's nice. And
yeah.
it's combining with his shoes. If we could only show his shoes.
Oh, we won't show it. But I can see you in your Chic by Siba.
Yes, Chic by Siba in his leg on the Violation Road.
Wow,
yes.
lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely outfit.
Thank you. You're looking well as well. But hey,
Okay.
I mean, Austria, we have to show them that we are coming.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one because Austria do have...
tough?
Yeah, they have players of quality. To
Okay.
be honest with you, there's David Alaba who plays for Real Madrid, and there are some other Austrian players who have played in top leagues in Europe. So it's going to be tough, but we have faith in the boys because the boys also have quality. Antoine Semenyo recently won the Carabao Cup. That was
You just calmed me down instantly.
Yeah.
Because I
know how to switch it up.
I know Austria is a small country, so I haven't followed their team, but I didn't think that they would be such a strong match for.
Yeah, they're a good team. They've also qualified for the World Cup. So I mean, any team that qualifies for the World Cup is actually good.
Yeah.
And they are. So it's going to be an interesting match, but. Ahead of the game, all 25 players trained yesterday. That was the final training session.
Yeah.
And the head coach, Otoado, did speak ahead of this particular encounter, looking forward to possibly get a win with the Black Stars.
To be honest, everyone can beat everyone. I'm very, very sure. And we saw it at the last World Cup that there's no team to be underrated. And surely Germany is a high profile, but to be honest, I'm not thinking about Germany now. So for us, it's the full focus on Austria. We want to win every match we play. This is for sure. And now the full focus is on Austria. We saw what they do. We analyzed them well. And I'm very, very hopeful that the players will do it at the end. It's about them. And the focus on Austria, we know what to do. We now have to execute, and like I said, it will be an intense game, and this is what we're looking up to. And after the match, we will think about Germany.
Otoado there, not being too, we're going to beat them and all of that. He's been very cautious.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine to be cautious because it's a friendly. You try new things and try to see what balance works.
Yeah.
So you might get a win, you might not. But hopefully, for a lot of fans, you would want to see the Black Stars.
Do you have a
win.
prediction, though?
I think it's going to end in a 1-1 draw.
In a 1-1 draw?
Yeah.
That's like the second or third prediction I'm hearing. This morning, we had a lot of people saying 3-1 or 2-1.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to end 1-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will not stick my neck out, but I'm hoping that the Stars will perform.
Yeah, but there's also the captain, Jordan Ayew, who spoke at the presser ahead of the game. He's also looking forward
to putting up good performances with his teammates against Austria and then later Germany?
For our country, we want to do well for our country, so every game is important. Even though we know these 2 games are really important, but even previously the other games were important as well, but just that sometimes it is what it is, you know. Coming to these 2 games, listen, tomorrow is going to be a tough game, Monday will be a tough game, so we'll do our best. I think we were preparing really well, you know, tactically, technically, physically, we look good, so let's see what happens tomorrow. I don't want to talk too much because obviously we've had a couple of days of training and what I've seen is positive. So we're ready for tomorrow and we'll see if we can get a positive result because we want to get a positive result, and after Monday will take care of itself.
It will take care of itself, right?
Yeah.
Yes. But the fans have also been sharing their views.
Yes, we took to the streets to ask fans in Accra what they think of Ghana's potential performance against Austria and then later Germany. And this is what they said.
Yeah, who say, you beat like a World Cup, no. Ako Koyada, performance in here. Results in country. Yensha was for name when you beat my Germany for no.
Oh, Ghana for win. For win, both the results and performance, Ghana for win, because we get quality players. Our players are, doing well outside, so we need to utilize them well, both the performance and results. We need to expect, 2-1 or 2-0 for Ghana.
We were just pass Ghana bet me a winning, but semi sure and blaster those time blaster na. Enye na mi hui, but as enye nyina Ghana for there. Yenti min kansa yen tawmuchi, ye tawmuchi, ye di DJ tawmuchi. Na mi gidi pass ombe wini, omu friendly games no. Any World Cup no so mu call so ombe ya there. Ye ni Germany no men ka say ebe 2-1 against Germany. Because first no na ye see Germany no bia slow. But sesiano enti sabio. Sesiano bia kita players. Yes, we will be here. You debate me on face your mom.
Me sure him say Ghana be deliver Austria and Germany, right? Yeah, me sure him say Ghana be deliver. Sure, you can say players na ababonti na omudi ababonti na me wa regime mo say e be to me any omo abobo na deliver kama. To Ghana, Germany, Ghana is going to win, and Ghana, Austria. What they make us say about it?
My expectation, because the way I see Ghana informs, I'm sure maybe they can put something on scoreline. I can say maybe 1-0 or 2-1.
1-0 in favor of
Ghana.
Ghana, Austria, it will be goalless. Looking at the Austria and then Ghana, Austria don't have any good team like Germans and then Portugal and then the rest. And Ghana too, looking at our squad, is not all that strong. It's very shaky.
Okay.
Sometimes, let's say the midfield is not all that strong. And then defenders too, we have problem over there. So if it's draw, Germany, I hope Germany will score Ghana. Maybe 2-1 or 2-0.
Jidon say Ghana, yeah, I'm fine better. I would say you players, I'm outside there. Do you want more ball? I'm back Ghana ha, and you sign on ball. But this week, you say Ghana there. Then go to there. After maybe 3 points.
I like the mixed reactions from the fans.
Yeah.
But I mean, ahead of the game, we've got some fantastic lineup, right? Even right here.
Yeah. I mean. Later, today on 3FM, of course, there will be live commentary. The game starts at 5 p.m. So you do have to join around 4:30. You get build up and then a live commentary. And also, it will be live on TV3 as well. We have Oreku joined by Augustina Himfo, who used to play for the Black Stars. Also joined by Benjamin Willie Graham. They would all be here. building up to the game, and then we'll give you live commentary as well.
You don't want to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Just clear your schedule and ensure that you're here watching or listening to 3FM 92.7.
Yes, and also be watching TV3 as well.
Yes.
But I also have a message coming in from Gold Board. They're saying catch the live showdown between the Black Stars of Ghana and Austria this evening at the Gold Board Jewelry Heritage Village, Akwaba Park, on giant screens. Arrive early and witness gold transformed into stunning jewelry right before your eyes. Then stay and rally behind our heroes to victory. Come through, enjoy the atmosphere, and get set for kickoff. Don't miss it.
So you're covered. Gold Board is covering you. TV3, we are covering you.
Everybody.
I mean, what else?
Yeah, everybody will be covering you.
Yeah, but the Parliamentary Select Committee on Sport has also been talking, right?
Yes, the leader, Honorable Henry Nobe, has been speaking. He's been calling on corporate Ghana to support with funding as they aim to take funds to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. You do remember that there was a fundraiser event that happened a few days ago. Yeah, it's all
$10?
Yeah, more or less. So it's sort of building up to that. They have a target of $30 million. So there's still some way to go to get to that target.
You know, this morning, one of the callers said that the 10 million we got, they should make sure they provide water for Pandai.
But here are the words of Honorable Henry Nogbe at the Parliamentary Select Committee.
It's important to emphasize that government alone cannot and should not bear the financial burden of this undertaking. The scale of investment required calls for a collective national effort. In this regard, the committee strongly aligns with the President's call for broad-based participation in the fundraising initiative. We therefore appeal to corporate Ghana, financial institutions, private sector actors, and indigenous business to actively support this national cause. In particular, we encourage members of the Association of Ghana Industries, Manufacturing Firms, and Beverages Producing Companies to play a leading role. Across the world, private sector participation has been central to the development of sports, and Ghanaian business must rise to the occasion and contribute meaningfully to this national effort.
Member of Parliament for Chairman and the Chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Sports. Yes.
Yeah, for sports, yeah.
Any other thing we need to know?
Of course, you're still building up to the World Cup. Of course, we have the friendlies today for you. There's also more updates on Sports Daily. We'll be giving you updates at 10 a.m. And do remember, on TV3, 5 p.m., the Black Stars will be playing against Austria. It will be live. But join in at 4:30 because we have a solid build-up, solid lineup coming your way.
Indeed. Thank you very much, the Bilishan, for bringing us the latest in sport. Well, it's a vacation this Easter holidays. So create unforgettable memories at the beach with family and friends by booking our all-inclusive 3-night package from 3rd to the 6th of April 2026, starting from 5,100 Ghana cedis for a couple. Early bird discount, book and pay before the 25th of March 2026, and you get to save a whopping 10% discount extra for you. Package offer guests free access to all in-house facilities, the swimming pool, gym, cinema, with popcorn, board games, snooker, etc. You also get to enjoy free airport pickup from Takoradi on Friday at 5 p.m. Always remember, terms and conditions apply. Fun activities include live band, in-house carnival, splash playground for kids, sip and paint, bicycle rides, boat ride to Maha Village, jet ski, banana boat party, bus ride, trip to Inzulezu, and many more. You can call for your reservation now to avoid any kind of disappointment. Landline is 030-3977-773 or mobile 050-157-0684 or 054-01-24114. And so, yes, you know where to spend your Easter coming in the next few weeks. Now, this March as well, get to celebrate the spirit of Ghana at Achimota Retail Center with the exciting Celebrate Ghana activity lineup. Enjoy ethnic-focused music performances that celebrates the sounds of Ghana and amazing shopping experiences all weekend in March. And while you're shopping, Don't miss the Shop Ghana Win promotion. Simply shop from our Ghanaian retailers, Gamel Clothing, MV Accessories, and the Chop Bar, and stand a chance to win shopping vouchers. Yes. Plus, there's more excitement with our Dance Ghana in 15 Seconds challenge online at Achimota Retail Center on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and a special Eid holiday vibes. Looks like that is still continuing in this month. So gather your family and friends and come experience the colors, sounds, and flavors of Ghana. Celebrate Ghana this March at Achimota Retail Center, where culture meets shopping. Achimota Retail Center. And your vibes in Ghana. Do stay with us. We're back with some more.
Alone, we can only go so far. But when we move together, there's no limits to where we can go. Together, we move with feel-good energy. And even if the beat stops, we create our own vibe. Multigans.
What makes really that place unique for a shopping experience?
Yeah, thank you so much. And yes, it's the branch at Airport City. And I believe for those who haven't been to Marina Mall, Airport City for, they've not been there and it's their first time or they plan to come to Marina Mall, what I'll tell them is come for the brands, come for the shops, come for the products, come for the offers, and come for the experience. One thing about Marina Mall Airport City is we seek to give a wholesome experience to our shoppers. And we have a diverse brand at the mall under every category. So when we talk about the gadgets, we have CompuGhana, we have Tech RS, we have Centopia and Harry Mr. When it comes to luxurious fragrances, we have Exotica Spa and Saloon, we have a pharmacy that doesn't just do with medication, but also cosmetics as well. And when it comes to entertainment, we have a variety 5D cinema. I don't know how many people know this. Our cinema is it's not a 1 hour long movie cinema, 10 minutes, but memorable. You would want to come back. And we have Miniso, the clothing shops, numero uno. So every category, we have a brand for you. And these brands are top brands. And they give you quality products, luxurious products, also affordable as well. So when you come to Marina Mall, you will definitely get what you want. And one thing that we seek to do is to give you a wholesome experience. I'm sure we'll come to the conversation about the activities. However, we focus on giving you an experience so that you don't just come and shop and leave, but then you come and we engage with you. So when it comes to the activities, I'll touch on that.
Okay, so when you say we come, you engage with us, what sort of engagements should I expect if I walk to the Airport City branch?
Nice. So one thing we are doing currently to appreciate our shoppers, to say thank you for patronizing Marina Mall Airport City, is we are doing a shop and win. We've been running it since the beginning of this month and it'll be going on for a while. So come to Marina Mall, shop from any part of Marina Mall, at least 500 cedis, and stand a chance to win a voucher between 100 to 500 cedis. Just to say thank you to you for shopping with us. And it's redeemable instantly, or you have a month to redeem it. So that's one of the things you're doing. So you come to shop, you're not expecting anything. We approach you, then you get a chance to win a shopping voucher. And also, we are currently doing a match viewing. So even today's match, we'll be showing it at Marina Mall Airport City. So those around,
we are for choice. Gold body showing.
Yes, after work
you also showing.
Yes, we are showing. We are showing. After work, you want to dodge the evening traffic. Come sit at Marina Mall, get food, and watch Ghana's match today. And also at Marina Mall, we do have a wellness community. It's called the Sunrise Yoga. So we have a yoga session for our shoppers. It's an exclusive community. So whether you're new to yoga or you like yoga, we have yoga on Saturdays every 2 weeks at 7 a.m. in partnership with Yoga Experience Africa. So these activities we have happening at Marina Mall. So depending on the day you come and the time you come, you'll definitely be engaged.
I look forward to something, but I'll come back to you.
Sure,
to you, Kelvin.
Definitely.
Because there's a new entrant. Hello, Bobo. Tell us about it.
Okay. Hello, Bobo. It's a very new restaurant we have opened at Marina.
It's a restaurant?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a restaurant and also fine diner as well. And we are inspired by the growing popularity of bubble tea culture among the young people. Bobo is actually gotten from boba, which is very fun and then has a catchy twist. That's how our mascot. When you see our mascot, it's on our logo. That's how it got its name, Bobo.
So you're open now?
Yes, we are open.
And what should I expect on the menu today, for instance?
Oh, okay. For first-time visitors, I'll recommend our signature milk tea series. It's very smooth and then not overly sweet. Beyond that, I'll also recommend they try our Taiwanese style chicken popcorn. It's very different from...
Chicken popcorn?
Yes.
Okay.
It's very nice and very different from the ones we see around. And then we also have different types of dishes, which is we have fillets, beef fillets, we have chicken thigh, and then fish and chips. And then I would also like them to try our tea series. We have boba, we have milk frappes, we have strawberry frappes, we have all different kinds of drinks and then food as well.
It looks like I need to drive straight to this place
Please
after
do.
the show today. But let me ask you this before I come back to Akuya. the Easter holidays are just a few days away. Are there any special packages?
Yes, we have. Actually, we have prepared cute little gifts for our customers, and we also have special combo deals, which includes our, like I said, our Taiwanese chicken popcorn paired with our milk tea series. It's very nice, and then it has 20% discount, which is more affordable than buying the items separately.
So, okay, in 30 seconds, really what we should expect this Christmas and your final word.
Okay, so for this Easter, what you should be expect is, aside the shop and win, which we'll have during the weekend, we have an acoustic band. Come with your family, come and have fun. We also have a cultural display, authentic cultural display will be happening. And then we have a photo op, we have a staging for the kids. Come, let them come and enjoy. So come with your family this Easter. Make sure that Marina Mall Airport City is your must-visit mall.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Equiofori, marketing lead for Marina Mall, the Airport City branch. Also, we've had Kelvin Lai, supervisor and head chef. Hello, Bobo. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Studio. We did promise you that we'll be bringing you an exclusive conversation with the founder of UT Bank, Prince Kofi Amoabing, and that conversation was done by my colleague Alfredo Kansi. Watch this.
You're most welcome, and I'm honored to be here.
Perfect. And I know that we've had a number of conversations with you on different subjects, but today, when you look back, I just want us to start this from where you were and then where you are now. But I'm sure you are enjoying pension, as you say.
I'm in a good place.
You're in a good place?
I'm in a good place, yeah.
Wow. Tell me about it. Why do you say this is a good place when, taking consideration everything that you've had
I think everything has got its timing. I'm very grateful that God used me to do whatever I've done in my life. I've been around for a long time, through the army days and through doing a lot of businesses, different businesses and other things, before finally landing or starting with the UT story as a non-bank financial institution with 3 people, and then look at where we were able to get to with, when it comes to people, in about, let's say, 15 years from starting. With 3 people, we had employed directly about over 2,500 people.
Wow.
And of course, we had the subsidiaries, we had a conglomerate, we had UT Properties, UT Logistics, UT, so what do you call them? Collection, UT Life, UT Nigeria, UT South Africa, and all that. So it's been a great story and a great journey, and I'm so glad that God used me to do those things. And everything comes to an end. So it's a matter of accepting that this is what has happened and what can you do after that. And since the UT story, I decided that the problem that we have in Ghana is basically the mindset of the leaders.
The mindset of the leaders.
So I started the PK Mobility Foundation for the new up-and-coming leaders to change their mindset, as in have the right ethics and values and the right sentiments and care for people and be a bit more selfless and understand the world and be God-fearing and to do what is right for the general good. I think that's what is basically lacking in our system. So because we find the youth now wanting to be rich at all costs in the shortest possible time, and this breaks down businesses and doesn't allow them to grow or get sustained.
But how do we as Ghanaians own this Ghanaian economy, from what you say?
It comes back to what we're talking about. The Ghanaian economy is really about deliberately supporting Ghanaians to own a big share of the economy. Unfortunately, we're doing probably the opposite of that. Because we did financial sector cleanup. What was it? We closed down our own banks. No mercy. It's only Ghanaian banks that were closed down. The one that we favored, or the government, the NPP government favored, they set up a GAT to put some money in it. or some people were given excuse or time to make up capital. Those that were hated for whatever reason, like UT Bank and others, as a matter of collapse overnight, like Rambo style. You wake up in the morning, the bank is collapsed. So we are actually on making our own economies. Because elsewhere, it's deliberate. The government probably even starts the business and then sells it off to indigenous private people to carry it over. And with right incentives and recognition, here we tend to persecute the hard-working individual businesses because they are not even in our party. That's a big crime for us. Yeah. And therefore, the people who know how to walk the ropes, or the business people who know how to walk the ropes, pretend to be on both sides. You pay here and then you pay. I mean, I didn't pay anywhere. That's why they call it crowd. But on a more serious note, getting control of the economy or owning the economy, Ghanaians, locals owning the economy, requires a whole lot of things. It requires that you have solid institutions that work. Because like we were saying, if you have institutions that are not delivering justice on time, the businesses cannot be sustained. Take anybody, Ghanaian from diaspora or Ghanaian here, he buys a land, and the land is funny cheap to 3 people. Where do you go? You go to court to get a result. 5 years down the line, it's no results. Your capital is locked up. You can only pack your things if you're from outside and go and never come back again. If you have a capital, small capital, your own that you built up, and it happens like that, and you're a local person, that business is gone. So, first, for me, the first and foremost, the institutions of state should be freed and empowered for them to serve their purpose of protecting every individual and every organization. If that is not the case, and people use influence and political connection and things like that, we can get a little bit of success, 1 here, 2 here, but we cannot get the critical mass to actually change the economy. That's number one. Number 2 is the appointments to head institutions should be based on merit, but those with merit cannot be manipulated because they have their own image and reputation to protect. So we tend to sidestep them and we give the position to people that we can manipulate and tell them to probably do what we want for our party members and so on and so forth. So the institutions is quite critical. The other thing is that the government needs to deliberately support some of these businesses. You know, every government, when they come into power, what they do is, we want to give, we want to help
private sector,
small sales, private sector, and
So
they give monies to party members. And those monies, eventually, most of it will be wasted. Because if you give 10,000, 20,000, somebody who hasn't done business before, really, what happens?
Some small loan schemes and business support.
But all those, the mass
schemes
locks and all those things failed. Again, because of the people they gave the monies to. So I would advocate for a place where, for a situation where the government actually goes around and identifies successful business people, not exactly big businesses, but big, medium, with good credibility, good track record. You can actually see they pay taxes, they pay SNAIL, they pay their workers, and PAYE, and put money into these companies if they have credible expansion programs. Because then immediately you put those monies and they start the production, you are getting your monies back. But if you spread the monies across 10,000, 20,000, 15,000, because this one we forgot to, he helped us in Konogo, this, that, all those monies will go to waste. So the government should actually support viable businesses and use, in that case, like pension funds and things like that, and give them long-term loans, which will enable them to actually expand, and with lower interest rate and the recovery rate is like more or less like patient capital for them to grow. If the government does that, then we can get individuals, industrial, and protect them. But the only unfortunate thing is that if the one government does it for a group and they leave office, the other government that comes is going to go after them because they are seen as agents or supporters of the other party.
The financiers
so we tend to do ourselves in all the time.
So the system works against, in some cases,
exactly
the Ghanaian businesses.
Precisely. And then, of course, I think this government is doing well by trying to control the value of the CD, which is very necessary because it allows you to plan and make the right assumptions and strategize on the way forward. And of course, inflation too has been tamed a bit, which is also very good because with low inflation, then the purchasing power doesn't just evaporate like it used to. I mean, holding money today, tomorrow is worth nothing. Yeah. So some things are being done, but all in all, I think the government must also play its full part on making sure that the infrastructure of the country is upgraded. You know, if you look at Ghana and businesses that are going, to go from Accra to Kumasi, used to take me 2 hours. Now, with heavy prayers, I could get there in about 6.5 hours. If I pray hard. Now, obviously. So for those who are going with trucks to cart goods and supplies and things, you can imagine the trucks break down and for 3 days they're on the road trying to come to Kokompe or to whatever magazine to get a part.
Bosoka and those places, yes.
To travel even and one thing too is that talking about transportation, the Ghanaian market is small, so we have to encourage intra-African trade. And talking about intra-African trade is where you're talking about companies having either affiliates or having markets exposed to them. And to go from Ghana to, let's say, Nigeria, you meet one corporal at the Togo border who is drunk, it's trouble. Meanwhile, we've been talking about ECOWAS since I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know? So, infrastructure, opening up the African market, supporting indigenous business, the list can go on and on what they can do to actually improve it. Because we are not serious. We started this issue about ECOWAS and have a common currency.
Yeah.
Nothing happened because we could not meet the divergent criteria. And then now we have, after which we have to give it all the support for it to succeed. It will take a bit of time, but that's the way to go to expand the market for business to actually grow. And then with the government intervention in infrastructure, like hospitals and education and roads and other things, but all that we're saying, even the roads when they are built, they don't last because of the corruption in the system.
Absolutely.
So the government votes the monies, but the monies somehow come out, and we have.
So corruption is one other factor.
Ideally, the government should tackle corruption, but the government that is tackling corruption needs a lot of money to pay for their debt. So we're back to square one.
From what you said, how can pension funds also be invested to support economic growth so that private sector can also leverage that? And I say this because there's some pension funds investment. SNIT has done that. We all know the challenges that SNIT is having with some of the investment decisions they've taken. What has to be done differently going forward with pension funds?
No, with pension funds, we all know the advantage of pension funds is that they have a whole lifespan because it gets replaced and therefore the monies are more or less permanent.
Yeah.
And so the excitement about pension funds is that the ability to finance long-term projects. So for government, for example, infrastructure funding should be supported by pension funds. Now, basically what you're saying is that you construct a road is going to last about 20, 30 years, and during that 30 years, it's going to help or propel businesses to make more money, and therefore you collect more taxes and so on and so forth. Eventually, money comes back, not even directly as from the road, but from the improved technology, improved provision of services, and the taxes and things that come out of it. So, pension fund administration is really good for any state that has it. But the management of it is what, again, is lacking. Because you can use it for education, for health, for long-term projects like roads and for whatever, schools and all that. But it is the mobilization and disbursement of it that matters. The strategy with which you use the pension funds. Like you mentioned, and talk about, say, SNIT. SNIT is government-owned, and they have pension funds. But who ultimately decides where they put the monies? So they put the money in certain places, which is probably not the best.
Yeah.
But because of political, whatever clout that they have or political liking for certain projects, they probably intervene and they make wrong decisions, which then threatens even the life of the pension funds. And this is about holding people responsible and accountable for the position. But the people we appoint to this position is such that we cannot hold them responsible and accountable because we put them there. We know why we put them there. It was to make sure that they get better life for what they've done in bringing us to power.
Yeah.
So again, everybody knows what pension funds, the advantage it has for any economy. But it's a matter of who is administering it and who is taking the final decision as to where you put the pension funds and who are getting the pension funds. That's always a problem. And I don't know what else to say about that, but the point is, pension funds administered properly is really the lifeline or long-term lifeline of any economy. Because that is what ensures that you're able to take long-term investments which take time to yield and which take time to build a company in the long run with infrastructure and long-term projects, the bridges, the roads, the hospitals, the educational facilities and all that. It's all supposed to become mainly from long-term funds.
Absolutely.
Because the bank lending of pay within a year or 2 years or 5 years, you can't use those monies for this kind of strategy. It's only long-term funds, pension funds, typically that you use.
What we've seen this administration do is to go on a path of value addition to our natural resources. So recently we had the finance minister announce a 50% retention of the cocoa beans so as to feed the cocoa processing company so we can add value to the beans. We've seen Gold Board also partner a private gold refinery company to add value to the gold that we also mine in the country. And then Tema Refinery has also been revived. They've started some refining to understand 10% of the market needs that we have as a country. Where do you see this drive of value addition going, especially taking into consideration the bottlenecks that you talked about, and what has to be done to sustain and then also at least improve on the value addition drive that this administration has, even to impact on the private sector as well?
Well, I think you put it well. The point is, value addition is what really brings returns on whatever we're producing, and everybody knows that weaker economies like ours, we just send raw materials and then the finished goods come and then we pay more for it. I think everybody has said it.
Sure.
The issue here is, like you said, the government is putting Gold Board, which actually is quite interesting. I think we're getting some really different outcomes and results, and that is part of the reason why the city is stable and all that. When it comes to cocoa processing, it's always been a problem because one thing is that if you produce, say, chocolate, made in Ghana chocolate, which we've done, it's difficult to market it ourselves because we don't have access to those markets. So I always have been thinking, this is personal, that we should actually get one of the world international companies to actually set up here and produce their own chocolates here and take it to their own markets. Because we don't eat much chocolate. Because then it goes with their name and their brand and everything. And you can give them some tax holidays and things like that. After about 5-10 years, there will be technology transfer and the chocolate is known and other things, and then you benefit from it. But at least processing it here gives you an advantage. But you don't process it here as a golden tree chocolate, fine. But take it to the American market, between the two of us, the chocolate was made in Ghana alone, a lot of people won't eat because they don't believe that chocolate made in Ghana and finished in Ghana is good enough for them.
Yeah.
Between the two of us. That's
a few of them.
So sit strategically and say, okay, what are the weaknesses? What are my real strengths? Real strength, you have the raw cocoa, you can produce cheaply, it's premium quality cocoa. Yes, the threat is that you don't have the market. You cannot fight the international market where they eat it.
Yeah.
So for me, that's why I'm saying that in that case, if that is the situation, then you ask and you study the companies that have the market. You can see one that is probably struggling with the competition. And you call him and say, sit down, I can give you this good test to make sure you can compete better and make better profits. And we learn with them in the same classroom. We apply the same techniques that they use to exploit us.
But cocoa processing companies is producing world-class cocoa.
Yes, world-class cocoa for those, if you taste it, if you analyze it, and world-class cocoa, why haven't we dominated the world market? That's why I'm telling you that those who have the market in their hands, not that they will even let you come, but they easily will cripple you. So use them to enter the market.
Right.
If I were to, that's what I would do. Now you're talking about Tor, which is also something else. And let me add Valco.
Yes.
What is done is we're producing, we close down. Government invests more money, we close down. Valco is working, have some whatever, and then nothing. And there's no serious report about it. People are not held responsible, accountable, and these are state funds. They should let us know exactly what is happening. But we don't. They start now, it's like Tor has become the whatever, and it's going to change the whole refinery and things like that. We don't hear anything, and then Tor goes back on his knees. We now have a Chinese company next door to Tor, which is bigger and is taking all the market. But at least that is set up here. So it's a bit for it. But otherwise, we're buying all the refinery products. So who do they appoint to these places? Who holds them accountable? Do they submit, business plans and proposal on what they are going to achieve, and who checks those things? What KPIs are given them? What SLAs do they have? I don't think we do anything like that. So unless we say we will manage strategically and manage scientifically as business is managed, and stop giving positions to people because they are part of us and they probably don't have a clue, but we'll put them there. We're not going to stop. So if you ask me what we have to do, we should appoint people with merit, with expertise and experience, and hold them accountable and stop interfering in it. But then hold them accountable, and if they fail, they should be sanctioned. And that's the way for us to go, because friendship in business won't work. Relationship in business won't work. At UT, I sacked my brothers, I sacked any staff. Once you don't go by the policy, everybody knew. And my staff would say, I would say, with your kufi. I mean, they pass the judgment because it is the judgment we all go by. But right. Here, you're not even supposed to criticize somebody that has been posted as MD, because he comes with all the powers of the head of state who appointed it.
Interesting conversation there with Prince Kofi Amoabi, founder of UT Bank there. You can catch the full interview on our various social media handles, also on our YouTube page as well. He talked about a whole lot of other things, right from the banking sector matters, also to issues of fighting corruption, Operation Recover or Loot and all of that. You can catch the full interview and enjoy that one. Before we go, a special congratulations going out to some individuals who are being called to the bar this morning. It's the match call that is taking place at the University of Ghana. Their pictures will be coming up on the screen right now. Congratulations to all of them. Let's take them one after the other, then we congratulate them. It will be on the screen shortly. Cornelia Bleusi, congratulations to you. Cornelia Bleusi Esquire, I must say congratulations to you. Fatah Mahama Esquire. Fatah Mahama is Deputy Director General at the Ghana Education Service in charge of TVET. He's been called to the bar this morning. Congratulations, Fatah Mahama. Louisa Shandov, congratulations to you, Council. Well done. And that's Fatah Mahama once again. All right, so let's do some birthdays now. If you are celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to Elder Odro of Sesdak Sakomono. Yita Sandra, God bless your new age from Master Planner Jr. And Patience Suwera from your husband, Valentine and family. Desmond Makafui Apedo of Accra, happy birthday. Mrs. Lokobina Grace Amwa Era grow in God's grace from your mom. Maunyo Nuchuga. 80th birthday to Reverend Dr. Joyce Rosalind Ayi from Rahel Naki Wilson. Dorothy Amankwa, happy birthday. Efia Ejapoma Efrifa Ajin, happy birthday. Madam Matilda Oboshi Otu. Eriam Danica Numanyo. Emanuela Equia Adolfo. Rashida Tuna Ajele Saki. And Enyonyam Banson. Joel Asamoah. Gusi Love Mochia. Selassie Atople, happy birthday to you. Augustus Andrews Nana Akwesi, Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NDC, coming from Evansin Kum, happy birthday to you. Reginald Yao Frimpon Ansar Jai, God bless you. Miss Evelyn, happy birthday to you. Nana Akufu Andrew, happy birthday, God bless you. Sylvia York, more blessings, happy birthday to you. Peter Owusu Kakari, we wish you good health. Charles Honu, God bless you from MFA. Happy birthday to Sandra Eboa, the CID headquarters. Happy birthday to you. And Amma Shine as well. That's coming from Derek. Happy birthday to you. We can do cash out now. Let's see who winners are. The first draw now, coming up on your screen right now. Congratulations to you. That's the number 256255. So that is our show this morning. Thank you so much for staying with us right from the news all through to this morning. Those of you who called into the show to contribute to the discussion, stay with us for Big Issue, for sports, for that big interview that we gave you with Prince Kofi Amwabin, and for this particular segment where we expressed and wished love across to our friends and all our loved ones. Thank you for staying with us all through the week. This is the last edition of New Day for this week, but there will be more, as always, on TV3. There's Midday News Central coming up at midday, so stay with us here. We have News 360 a bit later on, the afternoon show, all other things. Sports will also come on right after here, so stay tuned in to TV3, the best channel as always. I am Joseph Akabli. I was here with Beatrice Claire Edu. Thank you for watching us.